they get jacked and tanned for music festivals. You know what I do? I get jacked. I get jacked for the launch of a video game, 100%! Yeah, I think there's a bit of...
G'day.
Hello. Sorry, I had to mute the tab. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tins and Gins episode 59. I hope everybody's keeping well out there. You are joined by the usual cohorts in the gorgeous OG Daxter, the luscious Beardsman, the beautiful collective unit.
Evening.
The perseviation. And for our special guest tonight, some say this man likes to ride the CBT rainbow until he finds the pot of lore at the other end. And that whenever he gungans, a baby is born. But all we know is his name is Devo.
Hey.
Devo, welcome. How are you keeping?
Well, boys, thanks for having me. I don't know about the gunganing, but I'll take it.
Oh, whenever
He has the largest
I'm sure
boy of all
done,
big
something
boys.
happens.
I'm sure I'm putting Genghis Khan to shame, and maybe even Genghis Khan to shame with the fatherhood in that respect. Then.
No, I'm glad that
Thanks
Gungan
for
has
having me, boys.
became a thing. Yeah, Devo, very welcome. You're somebody we've been looking at for a while. And obviously, we were touch base a few months back, but just due to life shit and that, we can only get you on now. But yeah, first guest of 2021. I think we're doing pretty well.
Move your mouse.
What?
How many?
Move your mouse.
Move my mouse.
Yeah.
Where's my mouse? It's not there.
Remove Collie from call.
Oh, it's telling me something. Hold on. Okay, no, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone.
There you go. All right.
What do you gotta pull this out a bit? One sec.
It's just
Not
gently
professional,
hovering over
though.
Collie.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Pull Collie in a bit. Hold on.
So, how many episodes is this now, boys?
Oh, not enough. Never enough to get it right.
Episode 59.
59, yeah.
So
Far out.
been at it for a while.
That
Oh,
is
fuck.
about.
You've been doing this for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably about 50 more episodes than I ever managed to make with a similar sort of setup.
Oh, do you do podcasts as well?
So good effort, I reckon. No, that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, no, it was nice. Do like the recap of the years and shit like that for like New Year's and stuff. It was nice. It was cool. You know, just like to see everything like we did and shit like that. Just like different event type of things and like guests and everything. It was really cool. It was really nice. We even got to do a live episode, and that was probably highlight of my friggin' like past 5 years.
Actually getting to meet up.
Yeah, it was really
was
cool,
something
especially in this time. You know what I mean, with COVID and everything like that. Hard to like friggin' actually meet up in person.
Yeah, it was really It's 2022. Sorry, I said 2021. Man, I'm fucking. I know it's gonna take me until like June to start saying 2022.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like you would write in your like school jotters when you went back to school after
yeah.
Christmas. You'd always have to score it out because you've written
Yeah, the
last
scratch
year's
offs.
date or whatever. Yeah,
Shit, you never erase it. You always like scribbled it out and wrote just a number after it.
yeah.
But that
How's
was
your
go ahead, Percy.
yeah, how's your morning treating you? This is the first time we've had as large a time difference
Yeah,
between
Yeah,
us.
massive.
Yeah.
This would be what, the first person from Southern Hemisphere or from Australia?
Yeah, from Australia and or the southern hemisphere.
Oh, so most guests are sort of from Europe or North America.
Dax likes to do like, you know, a whole region at a time. So we went through the whole of
Yeah.
Scotland. We went through we get around on that aspect.
There we go.
I think our another big time difference would have been Ari and Joe. They were on West Coast.
Yeah, Ari was the biggest one, I suppose. He was what, 8 hours behind?
No, well, for you guys.
Yeah, for ourselves, yeah.
Yeah. So it was relatively early for him.
So it's funny actually. I was chatting with Oni the other day in a Discord, and I was saying, Oni, you're probably like the furthest person away from me like that I've ever talked to. So I was curious, and I found a website that you put in your longitude and latitude, and it tells you exactly if you were to dig straight down where you end up.
Mhm.
And I end up just literally like a few kilometers off the south of New Zealand.
Really?
So I was like,
That's cool.
Oni is literally like perfectly the far side of me. So,
Only's a good boy. But
He's a good
obviously,
boy.
through
Yeah,
Devil.
Solid guy. Yeah.
Must be a sort of a disappointing experience for most people, that website. They just end up in the ocean somewhere.
Yeah, the ocean somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so sad.
Hey, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Cool.
Nice. Yeah, but he's a legend, that guy. Just
Oh, he's
one
a
of the
good
best,
dude, yeah.
one of the best dudes here on Twitch. That's probably the best thing about being on Twitch, is meeting people like Oni, and I'm sure you guys know all the other the infamous individuals who've just made being on this website so special. But he's definitely one of them.
Yeah, like Oni, Lupus, a few other people have came, I think, from your channel to here when you raided me back when I was doing the fucking 100% you. We don't like to talk about that anymore.
It was a dark
But
time.
dark times, lads, dark times. But yeah, they came across then, and they've kind of haven't left since. So it's cool. It's good. And even Shaz said it today. It was pretty cool that he's seeing like people that I follow as his recommended people to watch. On Twitch it shows recommended streamers and stuff like that. Apparently our communities are kind of like crossing back and forth, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap there,
997
just in terms of content, and I think we have probably similar senses of humor.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all works out.
Dumb shit.
And did you hear about Dax's best present for Christmas, Devil, was Porky following him? Finally.
yeah.
No,
Oh my
that's not
God.
fair, right? Okay, listen to this,
I
right?
had to
Oh
beg him.
my
I had to
God.
beg Porky.
No, fuck yeah, it was literally a joke, right? That I had going with Collie.
The joke my ass. It was literally like 6 months. You'd be like, I don't know why the guy doesn't follow me.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't know why.
no, I was like, I know I've made it. I know I've
doesn't
made
follow
it when Porky follows the channel, and the only time he follows it when fucking Collie basically gifted him like a tier 3 sub to fucking somebody to do it.
No, I was when we were playing Fall Guys on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I was like, Porky, just do it, please. I was a couple of ciders there. So just for the love of Christ, so you
So we
can
don't
stop
have to hear
talking
it
about
anymore.
it.
Yeah. We don't have to hear it. For the love of fucking God.
And to be fair to Porky, I don't think he's missed many streams since. He's a good boy, Porky.
He's a good man. Well done, Porky.
Well done, Porky, indeed. OP.
Yeah.
He hasn't been dropping those lately. I haven't seen one for ages.
But because he's using your fucking SME the whole time.
The SME.
Oh man,
Big fan of that.
massive fan.
He's pretty much responsible for that emote, to be honest, because he made this meme one day of just like, it was a meme with like 5 images of me with those weird face effect things. And it was like the story of someone taking a shit and then being interrupted, someone trying to come in and the SME one is like the bottom frame, it's got the SME emote, and then it says, when you open the door. And you open the door and you just give him that look.
Cheers, Collie.
Porky tends to, no worries. Porky tends to do that just midstream. He'll send you like an Imgur link, and he'll be like, look at this, and it was the one that you shared it in your stream. I think it was the other day. And it was me, apparently, about to board a boat or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's the guy's like, are you going to get on? And it's like, is it a border collie? And then there's just like a border collie beside me. And I'm like, fuck's sake, Porky.
He's a professional. He's a professional pun maker. Fair play to him.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, very funny man.
Border collie.
I'll find the link and I'll send it to you, but it's class.
But Devo, going back to the 100% UN that we don't really talk about anymore. It's funny actually because I was thinking about this today. That remember you went back to speedrun 100% UN recently? Well, recently, a few months back or whatever, and I was like 6-7 months
4
in.
months ago.
And I think you were like one of the main motivations for me to finish it, but not to finish it, but for me to put a cap on like my attempts. Because I remember you came back and like 3 weeks later you finished it, and I was like, "Fucking cunt! I've been doing this for like seven months."
The original announcement was Devo went back to speedrunning. I'm gonna complete a run before he.
Yeah, I
does
was
it
like, I
again.
gotta complete a run before
I
Devo,
didn't.
and then I didn't. So I was like, man, I was literally like, I'm shit at this. I'm gonna put a cap, and then like 10 runs later, we got.
It's one of those cases of perfect is the enemy of done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Exactly.
think like you're trying to get like the best run possible, and then that sort of stops you from getting one done?
Yeah, but I don't regret it. Like it was horrible, but it was still fun at the same time. But
I made a lot of friends. You know,
yeah,
so-
absolutely. Sure, I met yourself, a few other streamers as well. That obviously like Mute, James, Zamoid, all them like that are still going strong and everything.
And it
So
was exactly at that time that I think it was like the day after you started your attempts was when we met. Like you met me, Shengus,
the 20s
and all that as well.
the 21st of
Yeah,
January, I
yeah.
think.
Something like that, 23rd, 24th, or something like that. Yeah. You got your birthday out the way and then decided, right, I'm going to torture myself now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what's the best birthday present ever? This
Starting
miserable shit.
100%. Yeah.
But Dev, obviously you're like you are a variety streamer with many different games. Like I'm sure you'd probably consider yourself kind of like a doomer in terms of the base of your channel is probably Doom and Doom Eternal, like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal. I'd probably be the same, but how do you feel now that you've kind of branched out away from Doom? Do you always feel yourself kind of pulled back to it a bit? Or do you feel like you could easily just never stream Doom again and be happy?
I think when I stream Doom, it makes me feel a certain way, and so I behave a certain way, and that ends up being entertaining, right? Like, you know, you get excited and stuff. There's a lot going on, and also you combine that with the fact that when you get good enough at a game, you can kind of autopilot a little bit, and you can sort of just, you know, if I'm playing God of War 3, I have to concentrate on it. I look at chat for like 1 second, I just get killed. Whereas Doom, I can play at, you know, a sort of entertaining enough level and still look at chat and carry on like an absolute idiot, and people are fine with it and it works out. So it's not like I'm not like sick of the game necessarily. There's still a lot of redeeming qualities. It's still an amazing game, and there's a lot of redeeming aspects to streaming it. But yeah, at some point you just got to do different stuff, right? That's just life, right? You just got to try different things and do new stuff. Because I would stream the game, I would stream Doom Eternal, and I'd just be like, my brain would just be switching off. Because I know what to do in every situation. You're not really like learning anything new from playing that game. So yeah, but it is obviously, you know, it's like I always say this, but you know, Twitch is this thing where like growth and variety are on totally opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So like on one end you've got same time, same game, same thing in that game. Beautiful, right? And you can just do that, like you go gangbusters. Like you'll have your plateaus and you'll break through and stuff like that, but if you just do that, like that's the surefire way to succeed. And then on the other end you've got variety, and it's just like you roll the dice half the time with what's going to happen, you know, and it might work every now and then. You know, you do a bit of variety here and there and it doesn't really stop you too much, but too much variety, and yeah, it's, I don't know, creatures are just people of habits, and that's fine. Like that's just the nature of the beast. You just run with it. You just got to make your decisions about what you want to stream, what you want to do. But yeah, like I still love the game. I still play the game. I was playing it this morning. Yeah, learn some new stuff, have some fun with that.
And do you think Doom has like changed your mentality of how to play other games? Because I know ever since I did Ultra Nightmare, whenever I'm playing a new game, I nearly just automatically crank it up to like the hardest difficulty. Like I get enjoyment of playing games now, but my enjoyment more comes from like a really hard task. And when you get past that task, it's like, you know, fuck yes, I've done this.
It has, in both the sense that I like playing games at a difficult level, but I also like playing them at an easy level. So if I go into a game that I'm familiar with, like the franchise or the genre, then, you know, I'm more likely to go hard. But if I'm not 100% sold on a game, I'm pretty happy to just play it on easy and just make lots of mistakes and learn how the systems of the game work. If anything, the one thing the game's taught me is you have to learn all the systems of the game. You have to understand all the mechanics. And some games on hard, they don't really give you that room to make mistakes, right? Like on hard, you'll try to experiment with something and you'll just fail straight away. So you just start optimizing the fun out of the game. Whereas on easy, you're allowed to make lots of mistakes and you can mess around with different mechanics, which is what I did with Evil Within, because I was like, don't know if I'm actually really going to like this game that much. So I'll just play it on easy and see if I like the systems and mess around with it and just enjoy the game for what it is rather than get frustrated by the difficulty of it. So yeah, it's definitely changed how I play games, that's for sure. But, you know, both ways, I guess.
Nice.
Okay, I suppose somewhat leading away from that is, I found when watching you play things like Mundaune, Silent Hill, even definitely Bloodborne as well, how did you find yourself getting into the nitty gritty of like lore in the games, and I guess like the behind the scenes action, because it makes it a lot more inviting of a watch instead of going like halfway into watching someone play the game and you're just after hopping in. You could have been playing for a while and you're like, I don't understand what's going on, and you'd be there breaking it down, reiterating back to other things to make it all cohesive, make it a bit more sense. Was that something you just developed over time? Like, did you enjoy doing that, like growing up playing games?
Not really like playing games. When I would play a game, like I couldn't tell you the story of Dark Souls 1 and 3, 5 years ago. I'd just be like, oh, it's just a medieval thing and you kill big dragons. Sick, But when you start streaming games, you have to be able to present a game. You don't speedrunning, you're still presenting a game. You're presenting it being played at a very high level with a whole bunch of interesting strategies that people just have no awareness of if they play the game casually. And it's the same with story-based playthroughs, especially with games like Bloodborne and especially Silent Hill 1. Like those games have probably some of the most obscure stories. They're totally opaque in terms of how the narrative pans out. So if you know how it all works, like how the story comes together, all the things that aren't necessarily obvious, because they're both Japanese games, and Japanese games are usually pretty subtle in terms of storytelling most of the time. If you can explain that stuff, then that's how you present it, right? That's the difference between just playing a game and streaming it. You're trying to present something that people haven't seen or heard of before. So that's more or less where it comes from. I guess in terms of like, obviously that's why I do it for streaming, but I have a genuine interest in the stories of those games because they're like Silent Hill and Bloodborne have both got amazing stories. So
I think you can tell though when somebody's streaming a game and they like a lower playthrough and they actually are passionate about it. Like I remember when you were talking about, you could tell that you could tell you fucking cared about the game. Same with Silent Hill 1. I've never played it. I've seen you do some playthroughs on it, and I want to play it now. Just because it's like one of your top games, right?
Yeah, it's just an awesome game. Because it's just aged like so well. The controls are a bit, they are what they are. Harry Mason will bonk himself on doors all the time, but that is what it is. But I think
RE1 and 2 and 3, the originals.
Yeah. So just really great game. Story, visuals have aged really, really well. Not many games from that era have aged as well as they have, as well as Silent Hill 1 has. Like look at Puppet Combo. It's pretty much that whole aesthetic is their jam. That's what they do. So it's something that is still interesting to look at even today. So yeah.
So I gotta wonder, just out of curiosity, like when you go from a game, like let's say for a while there, I mean you variety streamer, but like you main a game for like a couple months, maybe even a year, and then like from that aspect, from going from there, like trying to go back to like that variety, do you play a game that you just enjoy from that point or that you're curious about and then try to kind of get in a groove of that? Or do you just kind of, I mean, do you want to, you don't bounce around like game to game, right? Like you just kind of want to find something that you're going to enjoy, or are you looking for something more for like you're enjoying? And well, a perfect world of it would be you enjoy and also your viewage enjoys as well. Right. But
yeah, I think it's different when you're starting out as opposed to when you're established, because when you're starting out you can just try, you can do a whole bunch of different things and see what you enjoy. I could have gone down a totally different path when I started. I could have gone down more the multiplayer avenue, right, which I did for a little while, and I decided that was absolute dog shit and it just didn't work for me personally. I just didn't enjoy it at all because I felt like I couldn't interact with chat. I'm also a little bit competitive, so I really have to focus on the game if I'm playing the game. So that was something I did early on, and I just decided this doesn't really work. Like in a multiplayer situation, you can't really control the pace of the game, right? You can't just stop. If something comes up in chat that's interesting, you can't just stop and focus on that. And it's awkward to go, oh yeah, such and such, I see that, that's an interesting topic, we'll come back to it. That's just really awkward. You just got to grab it when it comes up. So I decided that multiplayer really wasn't for me. So I ended up going down more the single player route. And within that, I found that doing playing games that were hard or games that had some sort of challenge run aspect to them. Like it all pretty much started for me with Doom 2016, Ultra Nightmare 2018, and I decided that really worked. Right, I think my first Ultra Nightmare clear, I was averaging like 6 or 7 viewers or something, and then people in Discord joined when they knew I was going to finish it. And I had like 14 or 15 viewers or something like that. And it's just, I guess, put it in perspective, right? This was probably nearly 3 years ago or something. And I decided that's really cool because it's challenging. People like watching stuff that's got a bit of risk added to it. I can control the pace. And so from there, it just kind of bounced off into things like, just games that have like a reputation for being a bit challenging. So from Doom 2016, I kind of went into Dark Souls a little bit, started streaming of the Souls games, and then sort of shortly after that time, Resident Evil 2 Remake came out, and I'd done some sort of speed running of Doom 2016 up to that point a little bit, mostly because Ultra Nightmare was just, I wasn't getting fisted hard enough anymore by the game. I thought, let's add a timer. So once Resident Evil 2 Remake came out, I really got into speed running. That was like my first real speed game.
That's actually, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and that was awesome. I was going to ask Daxter actually how he found that experience speedrunning that game, coming from Eternal, which is way more insane than
it's weird, like speedrunning a game like Resident Evil that some people would find like really tough, but it's actually relaxing. Like obviously when you're on a good pace, you get to like labs, you're like, oh shit, your heart rate's going up, and you're like, here, I gotta focus, But early game, it's it's chill, and the fact that you can hit escape and say hello to people that have just joined, or if you get a raid or things like that. Just a lot more. It's so much more chill, and obviously a lot more resetting compared to Doom. But I like the way it's a sub-hour run. So at least if you get a run done, you can probably say, I might try again. Whereas if you get a run done in Doom Eternal, you're kind of like, okay, I'm done for the night.
Yeah, I had pretty much exactly the same experience because Doom 2016 at the time was, compared to Resident Evil 2 Remake, going to RE2 Remake was way more chill. Obviously, it's way more optimized, so little mistakes cost you more. But it's just nice to be able to either pause the game or you're on a stretch where you're just walking from one room to the other and you can just look at chat and talk to people. So, yeah, it's really, really good speed game.
The community is great as well. I have to say, like, the Resident Evil community is savage. Same with Doom. And it's funny, I know Devo is just because I know you and like a few other people, but it feels like the Resident Evil community, Dark Souls, and Doom all kind of cross over with each other in loads of different places.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? Like, I'd love to talk to Shaz more about this, and obviously there's plenty, like, that's kind of like the crux of the whole Rad Crew, the stream team, that it's just an awesome community to be a part of. We're all just kind of have been acquainted through a guy called Iceman. And we all just liked the same games, pretty much. We all liked Resident Evil, Dark Souls. A few of us like Doom, a few of us like Metal Gear Solid. So it's just this huge overlap. So it's just, I don't wonder if there's something in that, whether it's because of that as a coincidence or, the people who play those games typically end up playing those games. If you play Doom, you're more likely to play Resident Evil or vice versa. It's,
Sorry, Dev, I cut you off there. I think you were going to ask something.
Yeah, I was just going to respond to Joe's question about Alien Isolation or Nightmare Deathless. I haven't played the game at all, so I don't have a strong opinion. So I'd be happy to check it out.
I think Super King Andy's doing speedruns at the moment, I believe.
Yeah, I think my next big project is probably going to be God of War 3. I'm going to try to no death it on Titan, and then I'll try to go through it on Chaos without dying. Basically Ultra Nightmare, like the hardest difficulty without dying, but we'll see how we go.
Fair fucks.
So, yeah.
Oh.
And guys, on that, it segues to the sponsor of this stream, which is actually Devo, who's not sponsoring this stream, but myself and Collie are representing today. Hold on.
Oh.
Here we go.
Nice, boy.
So Devo sponsored us by us giving him money to get these t-shirts. So guys, if I put a link in chat there if anyone's interested in getting one of Devo's really cool t-shirts. You have 2 designs up at the moment, Devo? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, 2 designs up. Yeah.
They're pretty cool, so if you like Doom, do it.
Yeah, not sure if I'll do more. Usually it's just one of those things. It's like emotes, you just have an idea that just pops into your head and you're like, oh yeah, that'd be cool.
I think you need to do it on the fly though. With emotes, I know that like my good emotes, as I said, the shit ones are ones that I'm just like, there, I'm gonna do that later. And if I wait a few days, I'm like, nah, I couldn't be arsed. And then like the good meme shit comes. Yeah, exactly, Joe. That was done in like an afternoon. I did it on my phone, so I have a Galaxy Note that has the stylus. And I was bored in work on lunch one day, so I just opened it up and started drawing. And I was like, what if I make a Daxter emote? But we were using good meme in chat. It's just a standard emote. And I was like, what if I make this look like Daxter? And yeah, that's where that fucking shit came from. So
I think your yikes emote is probably my favorite, even more so than oof.
Oh really?
That's good, is it? Yeah.
The yikes from the
That's
youch.
one.
I think it was Irina. She made loads of them when I was. That was literally all from one Doom run. She came up with like 5 emotes of my face, and they're all on Franker Z now. From one run, that was it.
Irina's such a great editor.
Yeah, she's great. Devo, question. Outside of streaming and that, you're obviously a biker. What do you have now? A Harley at the moment?
Yeah, I've been riding for 7 or 8 years now. Yeah, it'd be 8 years. I've got a Harley Davidson Lowrider S, and I love it. It's awesome.
And question is, if you had what's your dream bike? If you had like a check with, yeah, that you could spend. I forget what is it? A blank check? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, blank check. Probably it would have to be like a Harley Davidson CVO Road Glide, which is, like you have your Harley Davidson have their, typical gamut of bikes, and then they have this other category called custom vehicle operations, and it's like, the fully tricked out of the factory bells and whistles.
Like the cruisers and shit, the ones with like the speakers and like the real comfortable ride and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Because most of the riding. Yeah, that's most of the riding I do now. I used to ride into the city pretty much every day, so I did a lot of urban commuting between cars and whatnot. But now most of my riding is all sort of cross country from 3, 4, 5 hours a day. So over Christmas, I did like 700k in 2 days. So I do a lot of sort of long distance riding now.
Yeah, so you need a cruiser to make your ass feel a little better on the long ride.
That looks like a gorgeous bike. I think I seen you post it on Twitter once, or a couple of times, right? Yeah. Is the seat as comfy as it looks?
Yeah, it's since that photo I put a different seat on it because it's had a previous owner, that bike, and he must have taken his missus on the back, so they put a different seat on it. And it was okay, but I had to get a different seat because it was giving me hemorrhoids, that one.
It's not what you want, no.
Is it hard to get Harleys over there? I'm not sure if because I know it's relatively easy.
It's pretty huge here. Yeah. I think it's definitely at least in the top 3 most popular makes, maybe even the top 2 most popular makes in Australia. Yeah, it's really popular. You're either on a sports bike or you're on a Harley. There's like almost no in between. Pretty much just about everyone who owns a cruiser owns a Harley. There's some people ride Yamaha. I used to own a Yamaha cruiser, loved it, awesome bike. Definitely would buy another one of those, but most people here generally ride Harleys. Yeah, if they're on a cruiser.
I guess that would make sense. You're except for when it's get monsoons, don't you? Monsoon season. You get the rainy weather though, like some parts. Here, but when it's warm, the bike would probably be the better option. Like even though when you're going fast, it's going to get super fucking breezy, but better than being cooped up in a car on the long roads.
Yeah, summer here is spring, summer, even autumn here. All most of the year is good riding weather here, especially if you don't live in Melbourne, which is where I live, unfortunately, because it actually does rain a lot here. But most of the year is pretty much, high teens, low 20s. So, yeah.
And Melbourne, you get like every sort of weather in Melbourne, right? It seems to be a mix of everything.
Literally, yeah. We get it's a city where you'll get all seasons in one day, pretty much. It's cool because we're right next to the ocean, pretty much, right down the bottom of the country. So the morning it could be sunny, and then it'll just storm, and then it'll be sunny 5 minutes later. It's absolutely bizarre.
You guys low enough to get snow, or
not in Melbourne? Nah.
No,
but we do get snow in certain parts of the state, just not in Melbourne.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Collie, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is there any like dream drives that you've done in Australia or you would like to do, or even abroad, that you'd like to line up and do down the line?
There's a few that I've done that I really enjoyed, and would do them again. There's not many that I can think off the top of my head, that I would just say, oh yeah, I've got to go there and do that one. There's heaps
No
of roads.
Sturgis run, huh?
No, we have nothing like that here. We don't have Sturgis. We don't have Babes Ride Out. We got none of that. There is a group called the Hog Harley Owners Group, but it's mostly like 50-year-old dudes. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'll just ride my own.
Do you guys watch Twitch?
Yeah.
Go full Gordon Ramsay. What the hell is Twitch?
Yeah. What's a Twitch?
Yeah. So no, nothing like Sturgis or anything like that. Just trying to think if we have anything like that at all. No. But the best road I've ever ridden on Collie, if it's any kind of answer, is probably the Jamison Ilden Road, which is literally like 40 minutes of just switchbacks, just constant switchbacks, left, right, left, right, left, right. It's pretty awesome. It's a really good road.
Nice. Well, I guess I'll transition it to maybe something that was one of the things I majorly enjoy in your channel. Is you've always got great music on in the background, whether it's game soundtracks or otherwise music. So this was actually submitted by Shengus. We asked people to submit questions to you if they did have. So in no particular order, Shengus was just wanting to know like top 5 bands or even just some of your top bands. I know we've talked a lot about it like in stream, some of the ones that you're probably going to list, but just maybe are the other ones that we don't know about.
Oh, top 5 bands. Probably Behemoth, which is a Polish extreme metal band, like black death metal band. 2, Fear Factory. If anyone doesn't know who Fear Factory is, industrial metal band from America. I guess, can I include composers as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, you got to go with Mick Gordon. Love Mick Gordon's work. Could never go top 5 musicians without mentioning Mick Gordon. He's a fellow Aussie and just an amazing composer.
Let me put on the instinct here.
Just trying to think a little bit harder, just so I don't make sure I absolutely don't miss anything. I probably have to go with. I do really like Lana Del Rey. It's going to seem like a total change in direction, but absolutely love Lana Del Rey's music.
Super talented.
Black
She's
metal,
class.
you need something to fucking balance it out.
Yeah. So I actually saw her live, 2019, and I'm really glad that I did because
she must be really good live.
She's amazing live. I've heard of other performers like similar area, like I think it's Sia. One of my mates went and saw her, and she was like hiding behind a piano, behind curtains. You can see her. Lana Del Rey was awesome, just like out on the stage, interacting with the audience. There was this one Sheila in the crowd who, like, everything went quiet, and this one Sheila's just yelled at, "I love you, Lana," and she was like, "Oh, I love you too." It was really, really. She's an awesome, if you get a chance to see her, like, definitely, like, a great show for sure.
Awesome.
Just trying to 5. There's this really good band. They do like sort of atmospheric sort of black metal. They're from Scotland, actually. That's might have heard of them. So
Eilstorm, the pirate metal band.
That's the one. Yeah.
I think it's pronounced Sayor. Sayor, I think. Suare. Bonsoir. Sour.
Sour.
I don't know. I can't think of a 5th one, but I mean, I do really like sewer.
You can call him soiree if you want.
But yeah, that's probably it. I mean, a couple of notable mentions, probably Pendulum.
Man, good. Pendulum's old stuff is so good.
We've talked a few times in stream about Machine Head and stuff like that. They're playing a tiny venue in my hometown of Aberdeen. So like I've seen them in like maybe like 5,000-6,000 seater or standing places, and this place holds about 400 people at a push. So I'm seeing them in a couple of months. Obviously, touch wood if it goes ahead, but that'll be really good to see them in such an intimate environment, and hopefully they'll play like some deeper dives and stuff like that on the tour. I don't think it's going to be promoting any sort of new stuff at the moment. So,
hopefully, man, that'd be class. The intimate gigs are unbelievable. I've seen Lamb of God twice. up in there's a place called the Academy up in Dublin, and it fits like 250 people, like max upstairs and downstairs, and it's just the atmosphere and everything like in it is surreal.
Lamb of God
Because
live are
they
unbelievable
still
as
go
well.
out
So.
as if they're playing in front of like 10 or 20,000, and it's just
Yeah.
for like a couple of people.
They-
They
they-
love what they do.
They don't know how to half-arse a gig, I don't think. So yeah, fair.
Man, I
It's more
remember.
intimate, you know what I mean? Like being that like more intimate with like the smaller venues. It's like a more like personable experience.
Definitely,
Mm.
definitely.
You know, so
Holly, do you remember what's that massive metal concert that's on in France? Is it? It's not Download. What is it? Remember?
Hellfest?
Is it Hellfest? I remember in 2020 they released the they released the poster. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah, and it's
literally
just like,
it was literally
love
to
that
get
band, love
everyone,
that band.
get
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah,
get
yeah.
everyone. Like it was ridiculous. And we
Hellfest.
we tried to
Yeah.
get tickets, but they were like it was like buying gold. It was just gone straight away. But it was like 5 days in France of just every band you could imagine.
Yeah, they got a lot, dude.
Oh,
yeah, they
it's-
just had a fucking hell of a list of people. But it's like one of those things where you
Every
go
band that
to
ever
and it's
banded.
like, you know how it's like you're never gonna catch everybody. You know, like it's probably one of those
Yeah.
like massive like so many stages and they're far as shit, so you really
Yeah.
never will be able to catch everyone. But dude, well played to get that many fucking people on it.
Well, I seen it though, and I was just like, I wonder how many clashes there would be, because there would be, some of your top bands would be playing at the same time as each other or something.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
would be
Obviously,
like
that's a first world problem, that though, is it? Oh,
Guns,
no.
Guns N'
One of
Roses
my
over there,
favorite bands,
Metallica
like,
over there.
oh, yeah.
First world problem.
We
Yeah.
we have a festival here in Ireland. It's more of an arts festival. It's an arts and music festival. It's called the Electric Picnic. It's actually just up the road from me, but I work at it each year. With my sister, just get a free ticket in. But Rage Against the Machine were supposed to be playing in 2020, and obviously it got cancelled. So that's a shame. But we're hoping they'll come back next year. That'd be really cool to see them live.
Yeah, it's one thing that most Australians can be envious of the rest of the world, and that's music. Like, we'll be lucky if a band from Europe comes down here to tour. I'm pretty sure, a couple of bands worth mentioning, Cradle of Filth, Immortal. I saw those guys once, and I'd been a fan of them for like 12, 13 years by the time they toured. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Probably one of those like they went down there and then they were leaving. They're like, man, fuck, this is too far. I'm just like,
Yeah.
And Devo, do you feel like, as an Australian, do you feel like isolated from the rest of the world?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean,
When it comes
Just
to music
different.
and things like that.
when it comes to music, yeah, definitely. It's you pretty much just don't really get to see that many bands. I think and you miss a band when they come here, and you really feel like, oh shit, I missed out there, right? Like, I
Yeah,
don't
once
think I
in a
saw it. I'm
lifetime
pretty
thing,
sure-
yeah.
you feel the pressure of like
Yeah.
you have to go see them or you might not be able to ever see them type of thing.
Yeah, like I didn't
Yeah.
see Nile when they came. I didn't see. Pretty sure Emperor came. I didn't see them. It was just stupid. Should have gone and seen them, but that's all right.
I don't know how often it happens now, but would you have felt that kind of way to a similar degree with games? Because your like rating system for games and anything gory, to be honest, is just scandalous over there. Like
Manhunt, yeah.
Manhunt is still
Hotline
banned,
Miami is banned.
and there's a few others I can't
And
think of off
Hotline
the top of my
Miami
head,
is such
but
a good game.
you seem to
Wait,
like
they actually
ban the
ban
most
games
obscure
because they're
shit.
gory? I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yeah, some
Oh,
games
yeah,
get
man.
banned.
They
I
just
think
hit it with an M and called it a day. They're just like straight like, no, it's
No.
not happening here.
yeah, I think
Holy shit.
I think DayZ was actually about to get banned as well because they
What?
introduced something. Yeah, they introduced a change where you can use drugs to heal yourself. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
like how is that any different to Resident Evil 2?
They could actually have.
How is that
they
any
actually have
different into real life?
There's certain places that have like grow plants now and shit like that. I'm really so. Wait. It wasn't the cannibalism. It was the fucking like the Percocet to heal. Is that what you're telling me?
Something like that. Yeah,
It wasn't.
I
It wasn't the guy
game,
eating people in Cammy Wobo. It was the fucking.
It doesn't make any sense.
Gotcha. Shobo. Sorry, Cammy Shobo. I get them confused.
The average Australian will be the average Australian will be surprised and ashamed by some of the things that their government has banned. You'll be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why is that banned?
We have to
Like,
protect
Hotline
you.
Miami
They're just
2.
brushing your head. It's okay.
Why
we
is
have you.
Hotline Miami 2 banned? This doesn't make any sense. I can just go play Hotline Miami 1, which is just about as brutal and violent as 2.
And Devo, obviously, going kind of sticking to the whole thing of government now. Obviously, there's a lot of strong criticism going around about the Australian government from people who aren't Australian. And I know you put out a fairly strong tweet about like, fuck, cunt, you don't live here. Like, people chatting shit about the country, and it's like, if you live there, it's like this is normal or whatever. What's it like? Do you see it as like strict currently, or it's just kind of like you're used to it?
I don't think it's like right now. It's pretty relaxed. You can, like I was saying, you can pretty much come and go as you please. There's no curfews. There's nothing like that. Obviously, we had some pretty strict lockdowns in where I live in Melbourne, which is, their whole, like, from the rest of the world looking in, is the epicenter of the Australian COVID lockdown. But like, we did have pretty strict lockdown for a while. But we've done what the government's pretty much asked us to do, and 92% of the state is vaccinated, and now we can pretty much do as we please. So that's all you can really ask for. I think it's like from the it's just like if you're not going through it yourself, then you don't really have the right to co-opt what's happening here with your own agenda overseas. Like I just find that really disingenuous. Like.
Well, it's the same thing as like and talking to like people from, like, for instance, I was talking to a guy from Sweden, and in his head he legitimately thought we all owned guns and we all shot each other in America over just. Yeah.
Wait,
that's
what?
my fucking.
Man.
But that's the thing. It's like it's what you see. It's what's projected.
I saw such a good meme today. Such a good meme.
Like everything, you know what I mean? So it's like it's what projected onto you. So you're looking at it, you're like, oh, that place sounds terrible. Like in our media, you guys are in fucking camps and you're not allowed to leave your fucking steps. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, whatever. So and like.
Like you look at, well, that's probably a reference to like Darwin, which is in the north of the country, in the Northern Territory. There's a place there called Howard Springs.
Yeah.
And it's also called the National Centre for Resilience. You might refer to that. But that's basically where just about anyone who comes into the country goes there for 2 weeks of quarantine. Chaps. And they do have to stay on site there for 2 weeks while they quarantine. But that has worked really, really well, especially in Northern Territory, because they have pretty much had almost no cases until Omicron. Just about.
I feel like it's like one of those things where like your country does it to be like, you guys think we have it bad here. Look at these fucking guys, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. And it's like, and you're not going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to go to Australia and check it out and make sure that they're telling the truth. It's just like, oh shit. Well, we're lucky here because we have to do this and they have to do that.
Devin, is that isolation? Does that work for tennis players?
Just go to Novak Djokovic.
I think I don't think that's got to do with tennis players. I think that's got to do with entitlement and over expecting things. Because well, like, look, we're pretty okay. Here's how it is, right? This is how it is in Australia. Okay, we have, and it's to a fault. We have this thing called tall poppy syndrome. Right, and it is unfortunately a pretty part of our culture. It's like a good thing and a bad thing, but basically what it is we believe that if you're going to achieve something, you have to put in the work to get there, right? Like you've got to do the work to get to this position, right? You can't just be elevated to a position, right? And that's what tall poppy syndrome is. It's like, nah, hold on, you're not allowed to, do well or whatever, right? You've got to do the work, and it's like, well, there's like a good part to that where it's like, well, we should put in the time to get to where we want to be. And there's a bad side where, like, well, if someone gets lucky, it's sort of admonished. You're like, well, that's not, that's unfair. How come that person gets to do blah, 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 blah. And it's sort of like the same thing with Novak Djokovic, right? Like, there have been, like, families whose pretty much livelihoods have been destroyed by this thing, right? And he just gets to waltz into the country when those people have, like, gotten vaccinated so they can have a chance to get their life back on track. They've made their, whether you agree with it or not, they've made their contribution to, getting the state to where it needs to be so people can move and have jobs again and work and blah, 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 blah. So he just comes in and he's like, all right, I'm Novak Djokovic. I don't need to get vaccinated. I'm just going to go in, do whatever I want and blah, blah, blah. And the whole country, tall poppy syndrome, has just leant over him and gone, no, like, you're not allowed to do that, right? You just got to, like, follow the rules. And we're pretty strident about that. And I think, it's like, it's hubris, and it's also complete incompetence on the government's part, just colliding together. And the result is he doesn't get to go to Howard Springs. He's in, like, some shitty hotel in Carlton with insects all over the floor and shit. I don't know. But anyway, he's having a good time. So,
But, like, it just boggles the mind. Like, what did he expect? Like, you're
Exactly, right?
notoriously, you're like, you have like documentary about like your cross border show that used to be on. That's like one of the most notorious shows on, and it's just all based on if you do anything bad or you're trying to fuck with anything getting into the country, you're just not getting in. Like you have to follow like the red tape to the letter if you want a chance.
Yeah, I mean,
of entering in for the most part.
I'm sure we've traveled overseas a bit. I mean, I've been to the United States before, and the people who receive you at the airport there are pretty stern as well. But
they're bastards. It's okay, you can say it. They're dicks.
Oh, dude, I like made a joke with this bloke once, and he
Not
was
at all.
like, "He's like, no, you're not allowed to make jokes."
No. Probably just an absolute stone cold bastard of a human being.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
What you have in your bag? A bomb, and you just get fucking shot. Like,
Oh yeah, it's America. That's right, it's America. We'll shoot you on sight.
It was actually natural. I said bomb.
That actually might be worse than bomb, honestly, depending on where you land.
Depending where you land, yeah.
Just on that note, Devon, when you're like, who's got the right and stuff to say it, there was a conservative, I don't think he was an MP, but just a conservative guy over here was like, no human can be treated how Djokovic is treated, put in this hotel, blah, 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 blah. And somebody just tweeted about, hopefully nobody tells this guy about refugees.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's literally right now, he's in the same facility, hotel, as a lot of refugees.
Yeah.
Or people in immigration detention who just rocked up without the right paperwork. Can you imagine that? Getting sent to the same place?
Put into a fucking hotel, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, most people, refugees here, get sent to fucking, you don't even get a hotel, you get like a nice, like, tinfoil blanket and some nice fencing.
Blanket. Don't die out there, buddy.
You'll
be okay.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? It's like, it's the great equalizer. You know, there's so much controversy around this thing, and it's like, well, what about all these people who did the exact same thing? They rocked up without the right paperwork. You know, what about them? They've been in that hotel for months, probably months and months and months.
Yeah,
like,
he's going to get out way before them.
Yeah. I'm sure, probably if he throws enough money at the problem, he might be able to stay. Who knows? He has the resources, so who knows what will happen. But yeah, it's hubris and incompetence on the government, on his part and the government's part, respectively. So
that's right. And I guess, like, bringing it back to like the start of the conversation, would you think that, like, the people from other countries, like, not living on your continent, given all this, like, the shit out on the internet, not that it's part of misinformation, but would you think it's anything like well being said against the country is just like kept down in the dumps? Bad press travels better, travels faster.
It's
than any other medium.
We have a very incompetent prime minister. Like,
Scott,
old mate ScoMo. Like the dude has
baby man.
He's really damaged our trustworthiness internationally. You know, the whole thing with Emmanuel Macron, and now this thing with Novak Djokovic is just like, it's been really bad for us. So hopefully, you know, in a few months we can just get rid of him, vote him out, and then, you know, we can have a different government, and then the Liberals, who are currently the current government, can just sort of reevaluate what they're doing with themselves. So it's definitely, it's sad. Like, it's sad for us because we know that the stuff that this guy's doing, Scott Morrison, is really, it's like that, right? Like, you know, I get questions like that. Oh, you know, do you think that the rest of the world thinks Australia can't be trusted? I'm like, yeah, probably, fair enough. You know, with the things that have been happening lately, then yeah, fair enough.
I feel like a lot of places need to just kind of like focus on what the fuck's going on in their own backyard. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's too worried about what's going on overseas with this, overseas with that. And it's just like, dude, you don't got enough shit going on with your own country. You know what I mean? Worry about everyone else's bullshit. You know,
that's
like,
really the reason they don't want to think about their own country.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just a nice distraction, I guess, from or whatever.
Fucking hell, sorry.
It's like when people start like talking about shit, it was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I remember, for instance, and not to blow up your spot here, but I think Persh, you might have been involved in it too with the fucking presidency here when the whole elections are going on and you guys were like just hammering like, oh, this and that. I'm like,
Oh man,
dude, I don't
RTE
fucking
over
care,
here,
dude. Like, I don't care. Like,
we had a direct link to your government.
yeah,
We
yeah,
still do,
it was
to be
great.
honest.
It was a fucking Everyone's we are America is what is it? It's
Thank you, Oni.
we're kind of like the laughing pot of the world. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just like
In fairness,
good
whenever you
America.
do see some crazy shit happening online in a video, you're like, it's definitely in the States.
oh yeah. Like, listen, dude, there's a very big stretch of like mid America that is just like a lawless fucking wasteland. And then there's Florida, of course. Sorry, Chauncey. But it's like the fucking just like it's just nuts. It's just fucking nuts. It is what it is. And you're just kind of like, meh. You know? But the rest of us civilized folk. Yeah.
Devil, another straying away again. Any useless talents that people don't know about?
Any useless talents that people don't know about. I can bend my thumb back really far, but you know, whether that's useless or not.
There you go.
I mean, it could be good to get out of something, you know, right? Maybe. I don't know.
You can't do that without a show and tell.
All right. Well, let's
I
do it
got
all
stretch
together.
first.
Like,
I gotta
like,
stretch.
how
You-
far,
you-
like,
you-
Are we
What-
talking
what am I
like
meant-
this
okay,
way?
bend it back to his
no,
wrist.
just on its own, without using your other hand. How far does your thumb go back?
Oh, that's
As in
it.
pulling it back this way? Am I right?
All right.
Oh, whoa.
Heck.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's
No,
pretty.
That's it.
No.
That's it for me right there.
That's impressive, lads. Not gonna lie, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Devil's on a different
Impressive.
level now.
But useless.
Yeah.
Lucas,
Look how well
Lucas
you
just
can
like,
put, like,
it's an
thumb
L.
breakdown, dude. Yeah, you can
Depending
put a
on the
thumb breakdown so
situation.
good.
Also,
Useless
double
Umber.
jointed, double jointed fingers.
Yeah.
So
Ah.
I was like, man, my useless.
Oh shit!
Oh, can you do the thing, Dev, where you only bend the top of your
Yeah.
fingers?
I don't think so now.
Just the tops.
Oh, you kind of. Yeah, you kind of can. I
Right,
can't do
yeah.
that shit for
Yeah,
shit.
no.
It was weird. I was like 7 or 8, and I was at a swimming lesson, and there was this part of the pool where it was like, you know, it was like the filter where all like the water and leaves drain into. And for some reason, I just put my hand in there, and it was just really cold. It was just really, really cold, and my hand just went like, and I was like, I took it out, and I'm like, that's not good.
It's like Spider-Man, but with
That's how
a
I found
fucking
out, yeah.
swimming pool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
with
like
the
we're
swimming
just
pool.
walking on the side of a building.
Stand there. Go web, go.
Speaking of kids who had traumatic experiences, Devo, do you mind giving us an insight into the legendary Ruben, as to where Ruben came from? Because I know there's a great story behind him, but obviously it's quite a while. But Ruben himself, like, was that just a? Did he just,
I just came up
appear?
with that on frame. Yeah, I just.
It was just on the spot that you just came up with it, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's not a very good story.
And I was going to say the backstory is pretty deep with the whole McDonald's fucking bathroom and everything.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't based on a personal experience. I can tell you.
I was going to say it sounds like my childhood.
In the face of a kicked in biscuit tin.
Probably just watched Stephen King's It one too many times. And that probably did it.
Oh shit, Devo, favorite movie?
Ooh, it's a hard pick actually between Terminator 2 or Hellraiser 1
Oh,
or Robot Jocks. No, serious, legit.
I don't think I know that one.
Never heard of it.
Does anyone know about Robot Jocks?
Mm-mm.
It's a great movie. It's pretty shit, but it's pretty good.
Usually the shitty
I-
movies are though.
Probably have to go with Terminator 2.
T2.
It's actually Jocks with an X.
T2 is still
T9.
brilliant to watch nowadays. So good.
Man, I love the tagline to the poster.
It's awesome.
RoboJocks, the ultimate killing machine. Part man, part metal.
It does
It's,
look
it's
hilarious.
basically it's a movie about countries have decided that large scale casualties of war can no longer be a thing. So instead of having a war as it is, where you have two armies that punch on with one another, they get two guys and they put them in mechs and they punch out in a stadium, and that decides
Pacific
the
Rim.
outcome of war.
Oh, sick. Yeah, it's kind of like
That's
Pacific Rim.
It's Pacific Rim meets Real Steel.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Cool
watch
movie.
that for
Very
sure.
cool.
This looks
basically
so good.
USA versus Russia.
Is that pretty much what it is? Yeah.
Yeah,
89. Yeah. 89. That's probably about right. Yeah.
The bad dude is he's awesome. Very, very evil Russian man.
Robot Jacks. Let's go.
Excuse me. I need the bathroom.
Yeah, I probably need to take a leak as well. Guys, should we take a break? Do you guys want to take a break for 5 minutes if you want to go urinate?
That's okay. I can hold my urine.
Devo, do you need a bathroom break?
Yeah, we'll take a short break.
Yep, cool. I'll put on the starting screen here, guys, for 5 minutes. So for anyone watching, go grab yourselves a drink. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks, guys.
What a thing to say to your mother. Was that an invitation now that your father is out of action? Maybe later, dear. Right now I have housework to do. Though you can watch if you want. Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, I gotta.
Yeah, be right back, guys. One, two, three, four. Where is he now? Oh, is he down there? He's fucking gone. Oh, that's great. I love this game. Dude, fuck this game. What the fuck? I love tutorials.
So you can show off your little beer tap.
They keep showing up every time I jump back into the game.
By the way, everyone recognizes your
Fucking yep.
Before I lose consciousness, before too late. Kill me!
That's.
Oh yeah! Fucking let me out! Oh my god! You making me afraid. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh no!
twice.
Unbelievable.
See, this is what I mean. I'm done with this game. I'm literally done with it. It's fucking stupid. How does that cue ball not blow that Mancubus up? I'm done. I'm literally done with this category. I'm done with running this game until they fix this stupid shit. You can clip it, send it to the devs, play it black in slow motion. I get a fucking magnifying glass, explain it to me.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.
Oh, Streamer! Oh, this game you're playing! Oh, Streamer! Oh, this game sucks! You suck! Your channel sucks! And I just want you to know that I sucked your mum's titties last night too! Oh, I'm so funny! I'm the most original troll on Twitch! I'm so funny! Everyone look at me! My mummy doesn't love me anymore!
Alright, didn't get replaced. Okay. Fucking wait for it to reset. Do you think people could beat Delta's UAC ML on Ultra Nightmare without AC in a reasonable amount of time? I don't fucking care, honestly. Like, I'm fucking over it. It's fucking killing this game for me. Like, this whole fucking, oh, I can do this with my fucking socks fucking, you know, on my fucking head, you know, in a condom fucking wrapped over my forehead. Like, I'm fucking sick of it. Just beat the game. Fucking hell. It doesn't have to be a constant dick measuring contest, this game. That is what it's becoming. This game is literally becoming like a game of, oh, how many fucking abilities can I take away from myself and be the biggest fucking dick swinger in this entire community? No one fucking cares, cunt. Fuck me.
My name's Cockney. I like to come into Devo's stream and say things that I think are funny, but look around, bitch. No one else is laughing, motherfucker. Your jokes ain't good. They're fucking dry, like your mum's snatch. Biatch. What you gonna say now, huh? What you gonna say? That's right, nothing. You ain't got nothing on me, right? Absolutely nothing.
Alright, just plasma rifle the shit out of this guy's nipples. Burn these guys. Drop the heat blast. Send this guy to bloody Narnia. Off he goes. Okay. No more laughing. Why do people need to be so divisive? They're both such great games. I don't understand this thing of like, this game is better than... They're both the same goddamn franchise. Like, what the fuck?
If she ruptures that accumulator near the origin beam, she could open a portal to their world that we will never be able to close.
It's like you really like eating pizza, right? So you get one pizza and you're like, wow, this pizza was really good. And then you get another pizza made by the same pizza place, and then you say, this pizza is not as good as the other one, and it's terrible, and it's, you know, anyone who likes this pizza is not good. Oh my goodness. It's not like that. They're both the fucking same thing. Just eat both of them. Fucking get fat. Eat both the goddamn pizzas, mate. They're both fucking delicious. Your hemorrhoids.
I I didn't know whether that was
How are you?
Smee or Smy. I was calling it Smy for ages, and now my world's turned
Is
upside
it
down.
Smee?
It might be
it's been
Smy.
Smee
I thought it
all
was
along.
Smile for
I think
Smile.
it's my. I
Maybe.
think it's my.
I'll go with Smy as well then.
I think it started off with Absolute Massive, right? With that horribly
Yeah.
painful
That was the-
smile.
That's the origin of the
that
Smee of the
broken
Smy.
smile.
Okay, maybe we put it to chat. Is it Smee or is it Smy?
Yeah.
Smee or
They
Smy?
know. Sorry, I got music on
Like,
here in the
It
background.
was Smee, it would be double E with it, like the guy from like Peter Pan and Hook and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I was
Two for Smy.
Smee,
Like,
Smee,
Smile like
Smile.
Smile, I think makes
Smee.
sense.
Smy.
Is it
Smy.
Smeagol or
Stags,
Smigol?
what is this song, Belter?
An absolute. This is the logical song by Scooter. This is an
Yeah, it's-
absolute banger, boy.
Oh, a little bit of hard style.
Bit of hard style in there. Look, you have to keep
Classic Euro.
them on their toes, lads. Keep
It's
them
so
on their
good
toes.
that you can just like I can just right click your name in Discord and listen along. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's handy. Really, really
Yeah,
good.
I got rid of my fucking Spotify, so I can't do that anymore.
Scooter.
While we're on the topic of music,
We were on it earlier,
yeah,
but
but-
okay.
well, you mentioned Scooter, you fuck.
All right, come
So-
on.
Shut up.
Technically, Shaz mentioned Scooter.
Semantics. Devo, do you still do the your Twitter side hustle where you were putting the Guts theme tune
Oh,
to
nah.
3
to-
days.
to
It
gnarly
was all
Death?
too much effort.
It was the
boys.
best 3 days of my life.
to
was
just
too much
deaths
effort,
all
boys.
across the board. The
was good,
original
though.
one, Horde 2 on the cackle part towards the very end, and you just go
Oh, yeah, Prody. No, I'll tell you what lives on with me and Collie and loads of people in chat. It was a bug, puta.
Oh, yeah.
Puta. What the fuck? It was a
I
bug.
always feel really bad about that one. So for those who don't know, when Doom Eternal was still relatively new, there was this French dude that would speedrun it. He was pretty much the
pioneer.
It was like one of the. It wasn't. I think Dracu has that title, to be honest, but I think he was one of the first ones, and he was one of the first dudes to do like an Ultra Nightmare 80% or something like that. You know, like there were no glitches or anything at this time.
Yeah.
So it was like a 4-hour run. But anyway, he was running the game and he was doing really well. And this one day he was fighting Gladiator. And the game's pretty good now, right? You guys think the game still has memes in it? It was pretty rough.
It was fucked.
Back in March, whatever it was, 2020. And he walks up to the Gladiator. He walks up to the Gladiator to glory kill it, and it like bugs out, and it just like punches him away or some shit, and then he just gets killed, and he just loses his shit. He's like, "It was a bug." Oh god, I have to find the clip now.
Yeah, if you
I'll
post
have
it in
to
chat,
check
but
it
we always do it. Like whenever we're playing a
I
game
seen
and we
you
come
earlier,
across
Max.
a bug, we're
Oh,
like,
dude.
it was a bug.
Dude, we were playing fucking Hunt together, and that's all. Oh my god, it was like every match, like multiple times. I'm like, I'm not in on the joke.
Thanks, Rich.
Thanks. I gotta watch it now. I have to watch it.
Shit, it's so
Well,
funny.
I've got the Guts one.
Okay,
I've got the Guts version of it. It's that tweet there.
And guys, I'll open it for you here.
the Guts version.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? It was a bug, putain!
C'est quoi ce bug?
Sorry.
Putain!
And I love the way he leans back so far in the chair. completely defeated.
It's actually really interesting to go back and watch that gameplay. Not, just watch anyone play the game.
Seeing
back
how
in-
things have
back then.
developed, yeah.
Oh,
Even weapon
it's so
swaps, like
different now.
like every cunt you
it's-
see playing Doom now can rocket PB, and back then it was like that didn't exist, you know.
Only pretty much. It was pretty much Zan was the only one doing PB Rocket. PB Rocket came from Zan playing battle mode. So yeah, but like back then it was just rocket launcher lock on, SSG ballista, and that was pretty much it. Just about. That was all anyone knew. I think Dracu was the first guy to really kind of realize how strong the heavy cannon was. Precision bolt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually, one of my friends, he was playing through Doom Eternal for the first time the other day on Hurt Me Plenty, and he was playing through Tag 2. Had some guy just randomly come in and start being like, "I'll just use SSG Ballista," and I just replied being like, nobody asked, mate, but thanks." Like, 'cause he had the no backseating tags on, and I was watching him, as were like Rich and Shengus and a lot of Doomers. Like, he's a really good streamer, but it was his first playthrough of the DLCs. And like I say, I was like, nobody asked, mate, but just like chill out. And he was like, it's not my issue, you fucking shit. So I just insta banned him. I just insta banned him, and I was like, I just whispered him. I'm being like, look, dude,
Get
like,
right.
I said to him, I was like, that's such a bad representation of the Doom like community on the most part. Like, that's just such a bad look. And he was like, "Oh, well, he's doing fucking shit." And I was like, and I said, "Anyway, mate, that's the most basic bitch combo to come in and suggest. So go and fuck off, sort of thing." And he wasn't very impressed, but
It's a skill issue, mate.
Yeah, I don't get it, dude.
Oh, that sounds like a skill issue, lads.
Oh, let's not start with the skill issue, man.
Dude, I thought that was dead.
Nah, I call that lad just a straight up cunt when I first started playing that map.
Dude, yeah, that I never got that whole like coming in and trying to tell someone how to play a fucking game. Like,
it's one of those things. Like, you'll have shit. You'll have shit.
Good. Right.
Once more, lads. Once more. Try it again.
You go, Meaty.
All right. So it's like you got to think back to like when you first started playing the game and how much you enjoyed learning that game and playing that game, and then you're gonna come in and try to take it away from someone by being like, "Oh, you should do this." No, let them fucking do it on their own, man. Let someone fall, dude. Fuck.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's just rude. It's rude to not give someone else the opportunity to have the experience you had playing the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's why it's so like my position now is if a new game comes out, unless it's a Doom game or a FromSoft game, I don't play it on day one. I like
What about
let other people play it.
Elden Ring?
Oh, that's a FromSoft.
Oh
game.
yeah, FromSoft.
So,
Sorry, you just said
yeah.
FromSoft. My bad.
Yeah. So that and even like
on, let me just-
even Resident Evil.
Don't worry.
You don't want to see his fucking tears.
I just have to get a tissue out
Regular
quickly.
occurrence.
Rach,
No,
please.
it's the worst. It's the fucking people that come in too and they just like say like the ending of the game.
Rage.
Like, oh, this is my first time playing this game, and like it's the first time playing. They'll come in and be like, oh, so and so is dead at the end. And you're like, what?
No, dude.
Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, really? Like, go somewhere. That happened, Callie. Where was that?
Yeah.
Me and you were in there
Even-
at the same time. We fucking banned them. Can't
Can't
who fucking
remember.
streamer it was.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, but it's just like, dude, like, why? Like, why? Like, fuck off, dude.
Anyway.
Yeah. Death Stranding was the worst for that.
Oh
It was
really?
such a story. Yeah, I played that game when it came out on stream. Fucking loved it. But
Really?
I had like one or two people come in and like try to ruin the ending. So
Devil, one thing I wanted somebody messaged me about, but I actually wanted to bring up as well was your strongman training and shit like that. Obviously, because I feel like we've quite a lot in common in terms of training and stuff like that. Powerlifting and strongman fall fairly similar to each other in terms of training.
That's a picture of you shirtless up in his gym. Oh shit! I was supposed to say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do. It's motivation. It's motivation, lads. Come on.
it's like that Wolverine meme. With the
Oh yeah, with the whole in the picture.
The picture. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a picture of Devo outside that whenever I fail a squat, I pick it up and I go, I failed you.
Don't worry, you still squatted more than me, probably.
What got you into strongman in the first place?
I moved to Melbourne and pretty much didn't have any friends. So I just started going to the gym as something to do. I was just studying. I didn't have a job or anything, so I had plenty of free time. So I just started going to the gym. And one of my mates who lived in Melbourne, but like about an hour away, was like, oh, I'm training as well. And I'm training at this awesome gym. Just come along and just train with me for a bit. And I was like, all right, awesome. So I went to this gym and I was training at like, more of a franchise gym. So it was pretty sterile, nothing too crazy. And he was training at this gym that was run by this dude who, was a bit more old school. It was an awesome facility, like old school. I mean, like sort of, it's like a 70s, 80s bodybuilding type gym. Heaps of
Gold's Gym.
Yeah, like like Nautilus machines and hammer strength machines. But he liked free weights and stuff as well. So he had trap bars and all kinds of different stuff. Heaps of cast iron plates. Place like that. And he taught us how to squat, deadlift, chins, dips, military press. And we just started doing that, twice a week. We'd start with squats and then we do we do military press, then we chins, dips, and then we just finish with some deadlifts. So it was, I would never do that nowadays, right? But when we were starting out, we could do all that stuff in one day, and we started doing that twice a week. And I think actually we would deadlift only on Friday. Yeah, we'd only deadlift on Fridays. And I did that for a couple of years, and then this competition came up. It was like just a local comp, strongman comp. And at that point, I'd already started watching strongman on YouTube. There was this channel I used to watch all the time. I think it's still around. It's called HIT Strongman, and they had like all the world's strongest man competitions from, early 2000s and the 90s. And I was just watching, like Mariusz Pudzianowski and Derek Poundstone and Travis
What a fucking tank, Marius! Holy shit!
Yeah, he's a monster. Just a great athlete. Still is an amazing athlete. And yeah, just went and did this comp. Met heaps of people through that I still talk to today. I still see at gyms today. And that was 2011, and my last comp was 2018. So I haven't competed for ages, but I trained and competed for like 7-8 years. And
so you've probably done a good few competitions then, have you?
Yeah, I've probably done like, I don't know, maybe a dozen different competitions, done regional, done state, done international ones. Like here in Melbourne, people from all over the world flown here. The Arnold Classic Australia, did that a couple of times. Did really well one year, came 6th out of like 13 people, so it was awesome. That was like my best. That was my best year. It was like 2016. I think competing is really hard. And Dax, you probably know this, but if you compete in powerlifting or in strongman, when I started out, it wasn't too bad because it wasn't as big as it is now. Like last 8 years, strength sports have just exploded.
Yeah, exploded.
Like,
and I think that's due to like YouTube and like social media as well.
Yeah, social media, CrossFit, social media have made strength sports really blow up because a lot of people who were like, oh, I'll do CrossFit, and then they go to a CrossFit box and then they meet someone who does ollie lifting or strongman, and then they just pivot straight into those sports.
Yeah.
And then from there, they might go to powerlifting. That's actually, CrossFit's been a big feeder for the strength sports. So that's been really good. But it's exploded. And so now when you do a competition, instead of it being a field of like 20 athletes, it's 40 or 50. So it's massive, like it's way bigger. And when I was still competing, they hadn't really adapted the format. So all weight classes in strongman on the same day. So you get there at 7 o'clock in the morning and you mightn't finish until 5:30 or 6. And it's just like a massive, it's your whole, it writes off pretty much your whole weekend because you're absolutely rooted the next day. And that's not even taking into account, the 3 months to get ready for it. So it's a big commitment if you want to train to compete. And I don't know how you do it, Daxter. Like I can't stream and work and train to compete. I can still go and train, but it's not really training. It's just, just going in and working out pretty much. There's a difference, as you understand, between training for something and exercising. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. So yeah, if I was ever to compete again, I pretty much wouldn't stream.
Yeah, I used to stream back. This was back like way at the start of the channel. I used to stream pretty much all of my training throughout the week. And I know I got a good few followers from doing the streaming of training, but one day I had some issue. Obviously, I just go out and set my phone up, so I'm just using my mobile data. And one day I had some connection issues, and it was getting me so frustrated. And I spent like 15 minutes trying to get the stream up, and then when I got it up, I went to squat, and I kind of nearly injured myself because I had cooled down because I took so long to squat again. And I got really pissed off, and I said never again. So I've done, I think, about 2 streams since then of training, and it's like when we were maxing out, or I did a charity streaming one for training. So yeah, I've kept them fairly separate. But even like, as you were saying, like it writes you off for the weekend. I got sick every time I compete. I always get sick. I always come down with like a cold or something, or just run down for a few days. I lost my voice for like a week, and I just think it's because you just fuck yourself over. Like you don't realize you're pushing yourself that hard, but it's only a few days later when you feel it.
Yeah, especially when you compete. I don't know what it's like to you, Daxter. When I competed, there's always that, especially with social media, it's really hard to not always be trying to one up everyone around you. Like there's a lot of pressure to go hard and do well. So yeah, it's definitely like, I remember my first competition, I knew no one. couldn't find anything out about anybody. By 2018, I pretty much knew everyone. I had them all on Instagram. I could see everything they were doing. So there was way more pressure to perform. So for me, I wouldn't be able to divest my energy between streaming and training to compete. I can just go out and lift and stay somewhat strong, but yeah, training to compete is a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, and as you said, like the amount of people that are doing strength sports now is crazy. Like, I remember about 5 years ago, I've been powerlifting for about 7 years now. I'm pretty shit for a powerlifter, but I'm finally making progress. But about 5 years ago, to get to nationals, so basically there's basically a total for powerlifting. For people who don't know, it's your best squat plus your best bench plus your best deadlift. That's your total. And you have to meet a minimum total to get onto the Irish team. And the total for the Irish team was 550 kilo as an 83 kilos about 5 years ago. And now it's 680 kilo. So you need to total 680 minimum to get onto the Irish team as an 83 kilo lifter. And that is fucking insane. That is ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
Like, I want to total 600 at 83. And if I do that, I can finally say I am strong. But to get 680 to add 80 kilo onto your total, that could be like 3 years, 4 years of training.
Yeah, or like 680 would be elite, not that long ago.
That's not like advanced. That's elite lifter, yeah. But the thing is, there's people who are hitting 680 in Ireland. I think there's like 3 83 kilo lifters that are hitting those numbers. They're just freaks. Like,
yeah, it's just one of those things. You know, you put more people into that pool of competitors, you're going to get more people who are either talented or dedicated. Right place, right time, all together. You know,
it's like
I remember, it's one thing I've taken away from competing is there's always someone better than you at something.
Yeah, like, no matter what you do.
You'll go to a comp and just some random dude you've never heard of will just come out of nowhere and just blitz everyone. And you're like, how is this person so good when this is like the first comp I've ever seen them in. There's one guy down here who's just amazing. His name's Randoose. And he's probably like the top two under, well, I think he's under 105 now. He used to be under 90. And he came out of almost nowhere and just took over pretty much. It was just amazing. So, you know, there's always someone that's better than you at something. And it's been the same with like speed running, right? Like, and, you know, Doom Eternal, like I was there from the start, but I've been able to, over the last 2 years, just watch new people, new names come in and just blast through everything. I think the only real constant has probably been Zamide, I would say.
Yeah, I think he'll always be at least in the top 3. I don't know if he'll always stay on top, but he'll definitely be in the top for nearly every category. He's going to be up there.
Yeah.
The Ferretto in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, Ferretto and Ori 2.
He's dominating the main categories right now. He's just another level.
Yeah, it's good though, right? Because even though you'll have someone who's really dominant for a really long time, the game is bigger than them, and someone else comes in. You know, like
there's always going to be somebody.
Like the OG RE3. You know, Orchlon was so dominant in that game for so long, and
goddamn fucking Mongolian.
Now it's like a totally different, you know, kettle of fish. You got like Pyramid and Secret, and there's all these other names in there. Even Holy Soul now is just. I can see him. I can see him now. Like he's. I dropped into his channel. I'm like, oh, what's your goal? Low 41. He's like, sub 41. I'm like,
all right, chill out. All right, relax.
Go for it. Go for it. You know? So it's awesome. You'll have to see it, and that'll just keep happening. You know, as long as people keep enjoying the game, keep running the game, there'll always be new people coming in, learning from the experiences of those that have come before them. So.
And going off of speedrunning, Devo, do you see yourself speedrunning again? Any new games? Maybe like even God of War? Obviously, you're doing the challenge runs, but can you see yourself ever speedrunning another game?
Probably not God of War, because it's a really long speedrun. New Game Plus might be interesting, but the New Game speedrun is like 3.5 hours. It's a long run. But you can't skip the cutscenes, so that's what makes it really painful to run. Yeah, any game where you can't skip cutscenes, I'm like, I'm good.
Against all the evil.
That's all that. I'm kind of surprised how Resident Evil 7 stood so. Like people still love speedrunning that game. I didn't realize for a while until like I watched like speedruns, you can't skip anything.
Yeah,
What was
can't
it?
see
Lucy,
I
I think
was
what,
just like,
Lucy,
that-
Lucy tried
that-
doing it once, and he
that's
was
a
like,
long
"Fuck
time
this!"
doing it.
Like he tried doing
Um,
it like one time. He was like, "Yeah, fuck that, I'm not doing that." Like,
Cat
fuck this
Cat
weekend.
is pretty nifty 50 at a at her Resi 7. I've never got to personally see Cat run it, but I hear she was a bit of a demon when she was running it.
Yeah, she pretty much had that game on lockdown, like 10, 11, 12 months ago, just dominating it. She pretty much was streaming it almost every day, really. So,
And outside
Yeah.
of God of War, can you see any other games?
whoa. I would like to learn some of the FromSoft games, just not like competitive speedrunning, but good enough to put them into a marathon.
Yeah.
Because I think that is one of the best ways to grow your channel if you want to do variety, is to do marathons of different games. Because typically, unfortunately, the way Twitch tends to work is because everything is ordered by viewers, especially followed channels. Like on the left-hand side, the followed channels thing, you need to accrue a viewership over a long time. And if you play games that appeal to a lot of different people for a long enough time in one stream, you'll just go up and up and up. And it's just how it is. Like, it's just that snowball effect of, if you're at the top of the follow channels, you're more likely to get more people watching your stream. So
The rich get richer.
I think, yeah, literally, it's RGR. All you need is the DK SMS.
The DKS, man.
Rich will love it.
The Matt RPD does that for sport. Like every other time I see him streaming and I pop in, he's doing a Resi marathons from, and he'll intermix. Like he could do OG 1, 2, 3, and then he'll hop into maybe 2 and 3 remake if he doesn't hop in the first one, and 7. And I think he was trying to squeeze 8 Village in as well, and it's like, man, how can you do all those in one stream? Like 8 hours, and you're doing 7 games? What the fuck?
I think that's just
It's
how
ridiculous.
it is, especially if you go full time. I mean, like Matt RPD he'll pop off, right? If he keeps doing what he's doing, he'll pop off. It's just same place, same game, same type of content in that game, or same franchise. Speedrunning all the Resident Evil games, sort of same franchise, same thing, same time. He'll pop off. Like it's a good example. Maynard, right? Like same day, same game, same type of challenge, right? And he's put in months and months of work to get it where he is now, and he's doing awesome.
Yeah,
right?
he's
You love
doing
to see
really
it.
well.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about being able to string games together like that. If you can speed run them quick enough to do a marathon, like awesome, So like if God of War was like a sub 2 hour game, I would definitely try to put it in a marathon. But because it's 3 hours, 3.5 hours, it's like oof. Massive.
Yeah, obviously it's a big, like, that's one of those games I can't understand speedrunning those games that when you get 60% through the run and the run dies, you go, okay, I'll start this again. Like, that's like, okay, I'm gonna end stream, I'll do it again tomorrow.
I think that's one of those cases where you just keep going, you just keep doing the run. Because it's better for the stream to just finish the run than to reset, especially if you're not trying to get a world record or just finish. Some people want to see the ending sometimes, so
or just see your progress through like different parts, like see like as you're growing through the game playing it.
Yeah, or like someone who watches you to watch you play a Resident Evil or Doom has never seen God of War. If they see the ending, then they're more likely to take an interest in that game. Like, that's the end of the story. Oh, that's cool. All right, well, how does it start? All right, next time you play it, I'll watch the start. So
the start of God of War 3 is one of the best.
One of the best. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Is there booba?
Not at the start, no, but I've really enjoyed watching it.
Unless you like Gaia's booba, then.
Well, yeah,
that's booba. That'll do me.
Gaia got booba. Mother Earth.
You've wanked over worst, I'm sure, Dax.
It's true, Collie. It's true.
I started doing a bit of research on God of War 2 off stream, and so I've done the opening a couple of times, and both times the missus has been watching, and I don't know if you guys have played God of War 2.
Yeah.
Collie's laughing, but there's there's a secret where you break this barrier, and you do like a sex mini game with these two Sheilas in a bathtub. And the first time my missus was like, what the fuck is this? And she gets her phone out and starts recording it. I'm sending this to my friends that you're playing this. I'm like, Darl, you have to do it. And then she's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
And then I had to restart it because I didn't save the first time. And she's like, you're doing this again? Isn't this just a little bit, obscene and unnecessary? I'm like, Darl, just look at the red orbs. Look at them. They're just flying everywhere. I have to get the I've got to do the mini
The orbs, the orbs. I need the orbs.
Wait, Devil was
like it's more auditory. Like you're not even seeing anything. It's just like it's panned over to the side. And it's just like button commands.
I mean, you do get a long drawn out shot of like these fucking 2 sets of bolt-ons that just look like inflated car tires.
Devil, was it not?
It was.
Was it not your missus that watched a video to do with like 2 foxes fucking or something? I remember.
Yeah, Beast. What was it called again? Beast. Some
Beast
anime
Island?
about like about animals at a school, and there's like 2 groups within the school. One are like cannibals, and the other one, well, they eat meat, carnivores and herbivores, and the carnivores tend to eat the herbivores. What's it called? Beast. Hold on. Oi, Dal.
Was it called
What's
Sing?
that weird anime with furry animals in it, and the herbivores eat the carnivores?
Carnivores eat
And
herbivores?
there's like a herbivore and a carnivore, and they like get into a relationship. Yeah, what's that anime called?
I'm watching it right
On
now.
Netflix.
Oh, Lupus is saying Beastar.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Beastars.
Thanks, Al. Yeah, it's called Beastar.
Beastar.
Okay.
Yeah, Lupus had it. Lupus had it.
Yeah, Lupus had it. Fair play, Lupus.
I flicked around through that a couple of times on Netflix and was like, nah. I'm a bit weedy.
Am I there
but
yet?
I don't know
I'm
if
not there yet.
Maybe
But
someday.
now
Maybe
I know.
someday.
I'm like, do I want to watch it or do I want to stay
Listen,
away?
if you want to see animals banging, that's your place to be.
Speaking of which, actually, Devo, what's your missus think of the whole streaming scenario? Were you guys together when you first started streaming, or was it something that you were like,
yeah,
hey, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we've
give
been-
this a shot?
Yeah, we've been together for 11 years now, so we'd been together for a while when I started, because I started in 2018, second quarter of 2018. But at the time when I was streaming, she was working at night because she worked in sales at a gym, and the gym operated at night. So I was just home by myself, and I had a mate who was streaming, and he was like, "Oh, just give it a go." So the first game I ever streamed was Bloodborne, straight from a PS4.
Nice.
Legit. That was my first stream ever. Just the most scuffed stream in the world. Didn't even have a camera. Had some shitty microphone. And she just didn't really have much of an opinion, I guess, because she was just always at work when I was doing it. And then when I started to think that I was kind of funny, she thought, you just got to stop laughing at your own jokes and shit on stream. It's cringe. And I just kept doing it anyway. And now I've got a tick next to my name, so I'm validated. So it's all good.
And does she finally respect you
No.
as a streamer?
Yeah.
It'll never
That's-
happen.
that's-
It'll never happen.
That's what you learn after a while in a long-term relationship. There's some respect, but there's never that earned respect. You just got to keep trying to earn it.
I'm 10
Every day.
years this year, so yeah, I can definitely vouch for that.
It's like
Is Gabby in chat?
I don't know if Gabby's in chat. I hope not.
a mutual humbling.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
And Devo, going off of you were talking about like the whole marathon thing and things like that, and you're kind of like when you get into a groove, the people come in, things like that. How much like nowadays compared to when you were first starting, how much time do you spend looking at like analytics and stuff like that for streaming and like, oh, this didn't work out, I don't want to do that again, or do you just kind of like, fuck it, I want to do this and this is what I'm gonna do?
I don't really look at the stats. Maybe once a year I will, but I don't really generally look at them because that you'll inevitably fucking, unless you want to do the same thing every single day and that works for you and that's awesome, then you'll have fun looking at them. Otherwise, most of the time you'll be like, oh fuck, what a drag, But usually I just gauge it based on the vibe in chat. Like if I finish a stream knowing I had a good laugh, we accomplished something in the game, people enjoyed the stream, they're saying GG or saying goodbye at the end of the stream, then that's good enough for me. I don't, like you're better off looking at sort of how much interaction's happening between you and chat as opposed to what the silly red number says, right?
Yeah.
Because you can have 10 people in there, and if they're all sending messages, one a minute, that's better than having 100 or 200 people in there sending a message once every 2 minutes. So the more chat puts in, the more you can put in. It sort of goes both ways a little bit. I heard like Nurgle say this, from vocalist from Behemoth, say that the more energy the crowd puts in than they put in, and it's sort of similar, but not quite the same. Like the more things chat says, the more stupid fucking memes and jokes you've got to bounce off of, and it just like builds on top of itself. So
Yeah, it's like
That's a good analogy with the concert there. I like it.
I love like
Sorry, Dax.
finishing a stream and like I never, when it says like, oh, you had like 20 viewers, I don't really look at that. I usually look at how many clips were made. And sometimes when there's like 5 or 6, 7, 10 clips, you're like, okay, you know, it's stupid shit, but you can tell that kind of people enjoyed themselves or something happened, stuff like that. So
that is 100% like the best metric. Just about, it's one of the best metrics is how many clips you got, for sure. And I'm even thinking of like making it easier for people to clip stuff, like having different commands that will cause a clip to get made. So just to make it easier, because I think I don't know. I think maybe the whole clipping process is not. So it might take too long for some people. I think the problem with clipping is it takes you out of the stream, especially if you're on mobile. If you're on mobile, it's terrible.
Oh, it's such a pain in the ass to clip on mobile. Oh, it's such a pain in the ass.
And I don't think the name of the clip matters that much. If you just type in clip and in the background, Twitch just makes a clip. That's probably 90% of the time better than not making the clip at all.
Yeah.
So
even if you put in like exclamation mark clip and then a number afterwards, and the number was the length of the clip from when you pressed it.
Yeah.
So if someone was after doing something, you're like, fuck, I don't know when he done, but I'll do like exclamation point clip 45, and I'll get like hopefully get the full context of the clip in, unless you're taking it out of context, which is most of Dax's clips. Probably, to be honest.
Oh man, I'd be locked up in prison like if people actually just watch my out of context clips.
Even the last 2 weeks, you're locked away, son.
I think the most recent one was like
watching that YouTube video.
Yeah, I love seeing kids chased by cocks, and that was it.
And back in chat was like, I'm on mobile. Can somebody clip that for my collection, please? So yeah, I think a few folk clipped it for her.
You didn't even say it fully. You were just like, you stopped like,
I was like, no, I can't say it.
It was like kids chasing.
I'm back.
I was going to say
I was like, no, I can't say it.
Did everyone just freeze?
Just you,
I think, really.
Oh, okay, all right.
But you know, the beauty of Bag now is that she'll just condense that from the hesitation to love kids getting chased by cocks. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Straight into that video.
Yeah.
Some moment.
So I have a question. I had two, but you already answered the one with the start of streaming and how'd you get into it and everything. But what was your first game you ever played?
Oh, I literally remember it like it was yesterday. Super Mario Brothers All Stars on the Super Nintendo.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I was 5 years old, and
was that your first console then on the Super Nintendo then?
Yeah. But the first time I ever played a game, it was at my sister had this boyfriend at the time, and we were in the lounge room, and we were just sitting on the carpet in front of the TV as you did back in the 90s. And they just passed me the controller, and played Super Mario Brothers All Stars on the SNES. And then 3 or 4 months later, we got one for Christmas. Unfortunately, we didn't get many games for it. We really only had Super Mario Brothers. I think we rented a couple of games, and I'm pretty sure at least one of those times I accidentally rented like a Sega Mega Drive cartridge instead of a Super Nintendo one because the cover looked cool. Get home and then it's like, this doesn't fit.
Just smash it with a hand.
Those are the days when you could rent games.
Nostalgic days of standing there, walking up and down an aisle, looking at games, going,
Dad, this doesn't fit. Dad would just come in with the hammer and just
smash everything.
I remember a godsend for the SNES was the cartridge that you could put your Game Boy games into the cartridge.
Into the
SNES, and you could play your Game Boy games. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
My mom and dad had a SNES when I was young as well. Class.
Was that
my mom and dad had us a year? I feel like that was a bit of a dig. My mom and dad had one.
They had a NES and they had a SNES. My first ever one that I owned was a PS1, but
the ultimate.
They had this. I first played on a SNES.
You didn't suffer through the cartridges. You don't have the good blow style to get all the dust out of there.
Yeah, apparently that was really bad for them.
You weren't supposed to do it. It literally said in there, "Do not blow in this." But meanwhile, every kid's like CO2, like spitting in the thing and just putting it in there.
I remember the N64 cartridges used to get so worn out that you'd have to pull them towards the start of the console. Yeah, you'd like pull it and then turn it on, and then once it booted, you like sort of gently let go. And then
Yeah.
We had to do that with GoldenEye back in the day.
Yeah.
Dude, and God forbid if you were using like a Game Shark with it too. Like you put the Game Shark in and then the cartridge sat on
Oh.
top of that. It was like, dude, if you tapped it the wrong way, you fucked that whole cartridge up completely. Oh, it was bad. I actually have my 64 and my Super Nintendo.
Oh,
back there.
really?
Yeah, I have my
My
Mega
old-
Drive in the attic.
Mega Drive too. Yeah.
My older sister pawned both the Super Nintendo and the N64. Sold it to a pawn shop. Just gone.
Bruh.
Bruh.
That was the last time you
They're
ever
relics.
spoke.
There it is.
Hey.
Look.
Hey,
A,
That's actually
a relic.
Oh shit,
what do you got in there?
Zelda baby.
Oh, Zelda.
Oh, nice.
Of course.
Nice.
Old cartridge.
It's been a while since you streamed Zelda, you bastard.
I remember. I
Oh, wow,
actually
since I've streamed
remember.
anything.
I remember playing my first game as well. It was Doom, the Ultimate Doom, with my dad. I remember that. I said this on stream multiple times. I remember sitting there, and I used to be the one to hit the spacebar and sit on my dad's lap, and he'd do everything else, and he'd tell me, "Dax, shoot," and I just hit the spacebar whenever he'd like tap me on the shoulder. Man, now we hate each other.
100%. No, you would have
Well,
got you
your
in
dad-
100%
your dad
better if you
completed
had done that.
100%.
Yeah.
Your dad
If you'd have
completed
sat on your dad's
100%
lap,
wins.
you would have got 100% faster.
Yeah.
You should have did that. That would have been good.
But it's funny, like how now, like
Dax,
I'm
get his
playing
glory
Doom.
kill.
Because I remember I was actually talking to my parents a few months back when I was telling them about streaming, and I was like, "Look, this is why I'm shouting at my fucking computer screen upstairs." And they was like, "Well, what games do you play?" And I'm like, oh, "Well, Doom." And Mom was like, "What?" She was like, "Is that
That's
not
still a
old as
thing?
fuck?" And I was like, "No, it's the new Doom, but it's the same as the old Doom, but different." Yeah, she remembered it
Got
from when I
ray
was younger.
tracing, Mom.
See, you
Got
turn
ray
it around
tracing
now.
now.
So, like this time, I feel like you should do like another Doom run, but this time your dad sits on your lap.
Dad, do this.
I
Do
might,
this.
Yeah, you tell him to shoot for you.
I might need to stream onto a different website.
Yeah, just have to throw it over the chair. Dude, I'm doing it myself. Oh,
Doom 3? You guys play Doom 3 growing up?
Doom 3, yeah.
Mhm.
I played Doom 3. I think I was like, I want to say like 15 when I got it.
Yeah.
It wasn't on
I think I
release, but I got it around that time, and I shat myself playing it. Like it was terrifying to me. You know, when you're that young, you're just everything is fucking scary. But oh man, it was the scariest shit I've ever played. But now I could go back and play it and respect it for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still it's a great game. Like, it's not just a great game; it's a good Doom game.
I think you played like a
Dude, I
little
tell you,
bit of
honestly,
Doom, the first Doom game. A
the
little
original
bit, like a
Doom I
cousin's
played,
house.
and after that, I didn't, and I loved it. I liked it a lot, but I didn't play a single Doom after that. Not a one.
You
Yeah,
missed
it's now big.
2016
And then
was
Dax,
the
and
next
then
one.
Dax
I-
ruined Doom for me by speedrunning it.
Sorry.
997 fucking times. I went, I never want to see this game again.
Beardy has actually played the game over in his mind
I've had
997
nightmares.
times.
I woke up, I was like, right, and my wife was like, "You're talking about a marauder? What is that?" I'm
Beardy
like, "I
wakes
don't
up
know."
sweating. He's like, Dax is on pace, and he opens up the
Yeah,
stream.
yeah. I'm like the fish. Is this good? Bad? Good? I don't know.
My God, babe, it's happening.
What is this
Icon of
pace?
sin. He's on Icon of sin.
Lucky Gladiator. No. It's cold sweating.
Good times, lads. Good times all the same.
Take it back to
Oh,
the
hey,
times
noob.
where
Hey, noob.
oh, noob.
Percy,
Where,
go ahead.
cheat codes. Do you have any like cheat codes that are like locked in your brain
Oh yeah.
from
shit.
from many years ago?
Yeah.
Like,
Up, down,
would you
left,
have
right,
any
Well,
like
the GTA
standout
ones.
ones?
Yeah. R1,
Or,
R2,
like,
L1, L2, up, down, left, right, or you want the second gun
jetpack.
glitch, which is R1, R2, L1, R2, up, down, left, right, up, down, left. Then there's the third one, which I think is up, down, left,
IDDQD.
right, up, down, left.
I'm thinking of
down?
like Monkey Man
Oh,
from like Age of
give me a second,
Empires.
sorry.
I actually have a picture of cheat codes on my phone from my old game Heroes. I still have them.
I remember
like-
you used to write them all out, like handwrite them all out and
you
stuff.
have like a
Yeah.
full
I remember,
piece of
I
paper.
remember,
Yeah,
I remember the
GTA
old
one,
Tony
didn't it?
Hawk's Pro Skater. I used to note down like my highest combos and stuff, and a bit of paper inside the box.
What do you got there?
Wait, what's this?
And This is my copy of Quake 3 Arena.
Oh,
I'm just
Ooh,
holding my
nice.
thumb over the CD key. I'm trying to. I used to be able to remember the CD key like literally off the top of my head. And this is like 15 years ago or something. It was just like TRDT. I wish I could remember it better. It's like one part is like WTGL or something like that. I'm just gonna read it now. TRBT CDDW. It's gonna be backwards, I think. Right.
Oh no, it shouldn't be
Focus.
backwards for us.
TRBT CDDW 87C WTGL. So I got 2 out of
That's not bad.
4
Fucking
parts.
hell, that's not bad.
Fuck,
Yeah.
jeez.
Just things that are just-
OG.
Things that are just
And
burned into
that's
your
remember the fucking
brains.
CD key.
Yeah.
Because I had to type it in
Imagine
all the
fucking
time,
16
every time you
digits
connected
over
to a
here.
multiplayer game.
Oh really?
See, and Porky probably remembers it for the exact same reason, because every time you would join a game, you
Yeah,
almost
Porky
always
just
have
put
to
his in
put it in.
chat.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Copy. I'm
It'll
gonna copy
always
that
come
shit
up.
off, Porky.
Yeah. Porky's Quake 3 is going to get debated.
Do it. It's from '99.
Porky, fuck me. What is this?
It won't work on Steam. What the fuck?
Hold on. Let me open this.
No one
Has
is
Porky
this.
sent you something?
Look at the stream. Fucking hell.
Percy, that's a neck beard if I've ever seen one.
That's a
I'm a
Porky
bit
post if
behind.
I ever saw one. If I ever saw one, that's a Porky post.
Jesus, Porky.
Oh god.
I love
Porky.
you, Porky. I want to marry you, Porky.
Fair play. He's some boy. Devo, actually, speaking of like old times and stuff like that, what your, if you were to say off the top of your hand, what was your like favorite moments from since you started streaming? Is there any like moment in your head that's like, yes, that was a moment for me in terms of like my career of streaming?
Or two.
Probably... Oh, fuck that thing. Probably two things I can remember. When I took the top run for 0% Nightmare in 2016, 0% full combat rating, because I got that run. That was the night that Doom Eternal went live, and I literally finished the run like 10 minutes before the game went
It was
live.
meant to be.
And then did a giveaway for Doom Eternal. Right, like as I finished the run, did a giveaway, and the way you had to enter the giveaway was to type in the fart command. So there was just like, like constant farting. So that was pretty awesome. That was really, really cool because it was just like perfect timing, community interaction. It was brilliant. And then the other one was probably getting the first clear of Horde Mode 1 on Ultra Nightmare. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
I think that's your pinned comment on Twitter, I think. You celebrating that. Yeah. That was just before I joined, I think. Or was it around that time?
That was
it's cool.
That was awesome. That kind of content was really, really good. Seems like people liked watching that. It just fucking sucked the soul out of me. It was just brutal. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was those final few arenas where you were just trying to figure out what the fuck to do, basically.
Yeah, well, like Horde Mode 1, the last part of Horde Mode 1 had you fighting 2 Marauders at a time with respawning buff totems. And so I watched Zero Master do it, and all he did was just press backwards and sticky bomb their feet for like 2 minutes to 3 minutes straight. And that's just all I ended up doing. I was like, well, let's just do the Zero Master strat, and it all worked out. So, yeah, but it was the first UN clear of Horde Mode 1. So,
Zero Master is fucking insane. Like, as a Doomer,
Yeah,
holy shit. Like, so many accomplishments.
Yeah, I love watching him do like the Doom 2 mods. He's been doing Sunder, I think, and he's been speedrunning the Sunder levels, which it's it's just an art, like knowing exactly which demons to kill with which weapons, how to route the pickups in the map. It's just insane because it's all finite. So you've really got to think about if you've never played any slaughter map content, Daxter, for Doom 2. That stuff's insane. Like, it's crazy. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Watch the Cinder Thief.
Oh yeah, I was going to say Cinder Thief played a lot of Sunder recently. Yeah, it's insane.
And watching Sunder gives me anxiety. And like, how are you even doing half of this shit? Even dodging, like there's one room where there's just fireballs just everywhere. And you're like, how are you some of these like Japanese or Korean Wonder Kid levels of like side scroll or like airplane like RPGs where you're dodging in between pixels to get to where you need to go?
There's a Taz run of a map called, I think it's called Oculock or something like that, for Doom 2, and it's one of the first large slaughter maps that was ever made. It's massive. There's like 25. There's a lot of demons in it, and Zero Master has a Taz for it. And watching the Taz, it's a tool assisted speed run, and it's just programmed, and you just watch this Taz just dodge everything, and it's the most insane shit you'll ever see. It's like literally, it's like you're in the boots of Neo in the Matrix. It's just imps, there's literally like 100 imps just throwing fireballs at you across this chasm, and he's just weaving in between all of them. It's really cool. It's a Taz, but it's still awesome to watch.
Still pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah, Oculpolock or something. Yeah, something like that, Shankus. It's ridiculous.
That is tough to say.
It's tough to say. It's even harder to not get constipation playing the level.
Yeah. And Devo, actually, now that we see like a lot of people moving over to YouTube and that, have you much of an opinion on that in terms of like? I haven't really watched many people on YouTube stream anything, so.
I just don't think that YouTube, their live stream experience is still not great. It's
the chat is shit.
The chat's shit. There's really not that many features to interact with the streamer with. Monetization is more difficult. There's fewer avenues to monetize your content. Like on Twitch, you've got subs, you've got gifted subs, you've got bits. Obviously, if you want to run donos, you can do that as well. There's bit rewards, emote bit rewards. There's different tiers of subscription. I think YouTube's just got that now. They can have like custom tiers, but they haven't had that for a while, I don't think. So I think from a monetization perspective, there's fewer options, but like obviously if you pop off on YouTube, you're going to do really well.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's in summary, there's two things. It's fewer monetization options, but it's just less fun. It just strikes me as less fun.
It seems more serious. Especially with chat.
You're having a backup following going.
I think the thing with YouTube is you come onto Twitch as a streamer, right? You're like, I want to try this Twitch thing out. And everyone on Twitch, the standard of streaming, I think, is just that a little bit higher. People expect more of people who stream on Twitch, like, camera, good mic, maybe chroma keying, a layout that makes sense.
Yeah.
I go and watch a stream on YouTube, and the cunts have fucking more panels than a fucking panel beating shop. There's like a square here, a rectangle there, and the game's fucking here, and it's just there's too much shit going on. I just think that the level of quality on Twitch is just that little bit higher, which is why streaming on Twitch is just a better experience for viewers and for streamers. But I think, if you want to do the Twitch thing full time, you have to do YouTube as well. Like, you just got to put highlight content. You just got to put content on there pretty much. So.
I think the worst thing as well about like the thing that would discourage me, just say I was partnered on Twitch and stuff, and I was out of my partnership, as in I had the option to move across to YouTube. The only thing that would defer me is you're going on your own. Like if I moved across to YouTube now, I would have no friends over there. Like all of my friends that I have in streaming are on Twitch, and it's probably for the same with the guys on YouTube if they were moving to Twitch. Like the only way I'd see it feasible if I was moving with like 2 or 3 other people all at the same time, and we all supported each other. But like, you're going on your own.
I don't even know if you can really raid or host on YouTube. I don't know if it has those features either. And
I don't think it does at the moment. I don't think it does.
Yeah, you are literally very much on your own on YouTube. You're not going to be on YouTube and suddenly get a big raid from someone, or several smaller raids and meet new people that way, right? Like it just doesn't happen on YouTube. So I think for that reason alone, there's less of a community feeling. You feel very much like it's just you and your channel on YouTube, whereas we've got 5 of us here. There's like probably a dozen or 2 people in chat who also stream that you've met through this platform. So there's more of a community on Twitch, and it's more fun as a result.
Yeah, definitely the community. I feel that's probably the thing that stood out to me the most on YouTube, or not on YouTube, obviously on Twitch. Ever since I started streaming, is like I feel like I've made genuine friends. Obviously, Beardy I've met in real life. Collie I'm gonna meet next May. It feels like I've made genuine. May coming. Genuine friends on Twitch, which is really fucking cool, and that's just from the community interaction between each other. It's really cool.
You can. So Sonny, I think you can in an affiliate. If you're an affiliate, you can.
Just going to the bathroom.
But
BRB.
yeah, there might be something in there about like, you know, if you're an affiliate, you can't broadcast to both, but most affiliates can, and they generally, I guess, get away with it. I've even seen some partners do it. I don't think it's a good idea, but you know, technically you can. But if you're a partner, it's a bit more clear cut.
You're talking about like not streaming at the same time, right? Like on both platforms.
No, on both platforms, yeah.
Because I thought there was
Yeah.
Twitch had a clause about that saying
They
that
do,
you
but,
can't
like,
take your
that's-
content and put it
Do they?
on YouTube, right? For
They
72
do.
hours or some shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
they do. And if you don't do it, if you get in trouble for it, it usually means that you're doing really well. I know it might sound
To
weird,
be
but,
but to
like,
be recognised
that makes
enough for
sense,
doing it,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, in a way, it means you're doing well. But I know partnered streamers who do it, and I don't agree with it. But they do it anyway, and most of the time it's because they have a following on both platforms, and they don't want to deprive either audience of the content, and that's fair enough, you know. But and in some ways, they kind of use it as an excuse to try and feed people over to Twitch. But I don't agree with it. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, we briefly talked about before on a previous episode, but I'd be curious to hear your opinion on say Ludwig. He was like the golden boy of Twitch, like someone put him down as, and he moved over to YouTube recently for a lack of like Twitch knew he was going, and they didn't put up a fight to try keep him or anything. There's a lot of other variables involved, but
I don't really know Ludwig that like I haven't really watched his channel that much. I know he's like he ran some massive subathon not that long ago.
Yeah,
but it's one of those situations where Twitch have cards they can probably play like, you know, Shroud. We want to keep Shroud. All right, let's give Shroud a contract. You know, let's keep him. Ludwig would have had a contract, right? Like he would have had a different cut than everyone else, right? But maybe the terms just weren't working out for him, and he thought, well, I can do better elsewhere. And Twitch decided, well, we won't play that card again. We played that before, because I think, you know, in some they're like kind of trying to appease both the big guys and the people just trying to make it on the platform. Because if they just keep trying to appeal to the big guys, then that demeans if they keep appealing to the big guys, it reinforces the view that the streamer cut will never be changed for everyone, because they've got to keep the value in those contracts, right? If you start giving everyone 80-20 or 70-30, then the people who have special agreements with Twitch, well, their special agreement is not special anymore. So they can't just like keep giving big streamers contracts and contracts and contracts, but at the same time they have to keep some, because you know they do bring in a lot of money. So
do you think it's like they have like a god complex because of like some of their biggest tried going to another platform and the platform folded, and now they're like, well, you know, go ahead, go somewhere else, and we'll see you back here, type of thing?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. It's hard to say when you don't know those people personally.
True.
Like what motivates them personally to make a decision, like going to Mixer, for example. You know, I'm sure that like at the end of the day, it was the most money, right? Like it's probably money.
Yeah,
Microsoft giving a lot of money to attract that sort of talent, and I think it's probably got more to do with that than, you know, thinking that they themselves can solely make or break a platform. You know, like the Ninja and Shroud going to Mixer had entirely the opposite effect of what they probably thought it would have. Mixer exploded, and they just came back to Twitch anyway. So, yeah, I don't know if it's that. It's probably just money. Yeah, good for them.
One of the things that Ludwig said, and he did like a YouTube video after the fact, or maybe it was on his stream. He said that after he did that month-long subathon or whatever it was, like nobody from Twitch contacted him. Like nobody from Twitch contacted him, and he would have made them like X amount of money. And that's what one of his things was, that he felt undervalued and stuff like that. It was quite interesting.
He was live for like 72 days, wasn't he, or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe more. It's a long time.
I think it was like just over a month.
Yeah. Was it? I thought it was longer than that.
Look, you know, I think it's who knows what goes on behind closed doors. It's hard to say, right? You know, he would have had, he'd have had already an amazing agreement with Twitch. there's plenty of huge streamers out there who have 100% cut. He might have been one of them. I don't know. I'm not privy to that, but it's you don't just like you don't always you don't just expect shit, right? Like I think that's
No,
I did a big subathon, therefore Twitch should be like, oh, you're amazing.
It might go with that whole that whole thing
Yeah.
of personality of like needing that recognition. You know what I mean? Like he needs it. He needs the recognition from doing something. Like you did it, cool. But he needs it to be recognized by, someone.
Yeah,
else,
Like to a certain degree, yeah. But if he's the first person to pull off a 31 day consistent
on that, holy shit.
consistent subathon, and he'll probably be one of the only people ever to do. I could see someone topping it eventually. But just to hit it's such a milestone for the site itself. I'd imagine that at least like one part of Twitch would go fucking props. Nice one.
Yeah, you can't just like build a cult.
But you can't bank on it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just bank on them, right? Like you can't just so closely associate yourself with one. Just because someone goes out and does something doesn't mean Twitch are going to go turn around and go, oh, yep, well done, buddy. Clap on the back, well done, son. Because they
Here's
can't
a
do
gold
that.
star.
Like, this whole platform is bigger than any of us, really. So
Yeah.
I mean, think of it this way: it's like I don't think enough people realize that, like, Twitch is just a little thing compared to like the whole Amazon company. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, it's very small.
this is like the child under the fucking stairs. Like compared to
Collie, you sad
what else
bastard.
what else they have going on.
Collie.
Collie. Thanks for the sub, Collie. Holy shit. Guys, Peach is in chat for Collie, please.
No, just carry on talking.
show us those peaches. Bit of twerking. You love to see it.
I think that's one of my most used emotes, and I just think it's because people spam it in like sets of 20 instead of sets of 1.
And also, I think we talked about it before, like the raid messages and
Yeah,
stuff.
the
like
raid
that,
message
those ones
usually
will
has the
be-
twerks in there. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the twerks. Thank you, Collie.
No worries.
12 months. Unbelievable.
Peaching intensifies.
Man, Percy, I'm just seeing the 1.5 year subscription badge now. It looks like fucking shit. Oh my god, it looks terrible.
I was wondering what it was.
It's a
like,
barbell.
What badge is that? When I seen it, There's
Devo,
like,
did you understand that?
okay,
Actually,
I
would
see
you
it.
understand my badges?
I had to mouse over that one to see what it was.
Yeah, but the other badges.
Oh fuck! Yeah, I didn't.
Would
see
you
that before. It's
recognize
first
the
I've seen
colors?
Looks like a 15 kilo plate.
Yeah,
maybe?
they're all Olympic plates. So there's like a 5 kilo, 10 kilo, 15, 20, 25, and then a 50.
Yeah,
but-
I tried to do something like that when I started out, and it's fucking hard.
Nah, it's dumb. It's
Chicken.
dumb as fuck. Like
Yeah.
literally one. Like apparently now loads of people know, but like if I hadn't said this a few days ago, I would ask somebody like, I don't know. Like nobody
Poker
knows
chips.
that's what they're based. Like
Poker
everyone thinks
chips.
they're poker chips. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not. They're plates. They're weight plates. They
Wait
just say
until the
Peach Gang in the
Irish
middle of them.
national broadband plan comes into play, and this man can get back streaming in the gym. People
Oh man,
will know
yeah.
what they mean.
Yeah, they'll know what they mean then. Actually, Devo, what
Mr.
sort of
Sneak,
internet connection do you get in Melbourne? Do you get decent up and down speeds?
Yeah, they're not in Ireland.
Yeah, that's true.
Or Central Canada. I understand. Sorry, Snake.
For me, relatively speaking, in Australia, it's pretty good, but on worldwide stage, it's pretty bad. So I usually get 100 down and 40 up. So, and I pretty much always get that.
Oh,
But
man.
Yeah.
Can you imagine someone calling that fucking okay?
I got
You guys feel
25
right
down
now?
and 15
You
up.
were-
Let's
You
go.
were triggering the Irish right now. Jesus.
Here,
like
come
55
September.
down
Yeah,
and 9,
I'll say
and
that.
9 or
I'll-
8 up.
September, they're giving me a minimum of 500 down. All right.
I'm getting
and then
okay. You get 125.
Someone from Iceland will come in the chat and they're like, "Oh yeah, I get 1,000 down and 1,000 up."
Yeah, 2 gigabits. One.
Listen.
You
things
guys are
good, you know what I
measuring
mean?
your speeds in megabits?
Yeah.
You
The fuck
guys
is a
got
megabit?
megabits?
Yeah, what the hell's a megabit? Jesus.
Ah, that's that that's that budget problem.
Back in my
Literally-
day, I spent 3 days downloading Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. I'll never forget it.
That's like it's always the best. Like if we're gonna play a game with someone, or like even Dax, if we're gonna play a game, like all right, make sure you download it the day before.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
have to
I'll
download
it,
everything
like,
the
5
day
minutes
before.
Don't worry,
Like-
don't worry. 5 minutes before I'll download the game. We'll be all right. Like, but
Oh,
it's,
the
but it's
day
a whole
you're-
mega. It's a whole gigabyte. Okay.
The day you downloaded your
Yeah.
updates, and like, Beardy, you gotta stream it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
it's awkward. But look, it is what it is. It'll improve. It'll improve.
I'm surprised. You know what, dude? I'm proud of your connection because you were able to put the show picture, the picture, and also the clip, and we didn't die.
I know I didn't die.
We
I've
didn't
lost.
die.
I've dropped 129 frames this stream. That's not
Whoa,
bad at
that's-
all.
Yeah, that might be a record.
Saying some of you guys are running at like 4 FPS, but that's fine. That's a win-win for me. All right.
Listen, as long as you can see this right
is
here,
that a
that's all you
neutral?
need to say.
That's an intro.
The
Beautiful
man
baby
himself.
boy.
A bong troll sighting.
The Bong Lord has arrived. The
Bong
Bong Slayer
Lord.
is here.
The Bong Slayer. And Nantro's a good lad. Nantro is addicted to hunting moose.
Shooting them right up the butt. Yeah.
Hunting moose and
Oh yeah, Nantro.
raiding tombs with Mrs. Croft.
Nantro shot a moose one day on stream, and no joke, it was perfectly through his arsehole. Like, I'm pretty sure
Shot
that,
it in the back?
no joke, the bullet didn't draw blood until it was around half a meter up his arse. Like, it was
As it
perfect.
should be. As it should
Perfect
be.
shot. Perfect.
He found the way to his heart.
8-player co-op, man. If you get 8 of us in there, we're all gonna fucking hunt each other. We're hunting the alpha predator, the troll.
Yo, there's co-op in
It's gonna-
Call of the Wild.
It's
I'm
gonna
in.
turn into the Pest really quick. If you haven't seen that movie, I understand, but it's a great movie
What do you mean, though, Beardy? We've played games with co-op and
with guns and co-op. Oh,
with,
yes,
with
yeah.
friendly fire.
Yeah.
And we never
And
kill
look
each
how
other.
that goes. Look how that goes every
We
time.
never kill each other. What you
Someone
mean?
shoots somebody every time.
Devo,
It's
one
not
thing,
on me. It's
one
not
thing I
on
meant
me.
to ask you about was recently you kind of took a break from streaming, or a bit of a step back, just for a few weeks to kind of recuperate yourself, you know, figure out what you want to do and things like that. Is that something that you've done in the past, or is that something that's just the first time
No,
you've kind of...
Yeah, I think that's probably the first time I've taken like more than 4 or 5 days off. I think, yeah. Took like 2.5 weeks off, I think. First time I've done it since 2018. So,
Yeah, man. Sometimes
yeah.
you just need time off. You know what I mean? Some people don't
Sometimes
understand.
you have to force yourself to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to
Right.
force yourself to do it. Because I think
Right.
it's just the day I was like, man, I'm just not really feeling this. It wasn't fun. And it was just, sometimes it's like there's no games to play. You just take some time off. And then you're like,
Yeah,
And did you feel kind of rejuvenated when you came back?
A little bit, yeah. I think it gave me some good ideas, and I spent the time cleaning up a bunch of stuff, which was good.
Nice.
But by like the third day off, I was like, all right, I want to stream now, but I had to force myself not to.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah,
hard.
so,
not to.
some of the God of War stuff, like since you've been coming back, has been some of the
Yeah.
favorite streams.
really
I think.
Good. Really good.
And I was actually, when we were
Great
talking about
point.
horde mode earlier, probably some of the first times that me and Dax hung in Discord, just like the two of us, or maybe a couple others, was watching you do horde mode 2. That
Oh yeah,
that couple of weeks, it was a tough watch because obviously, like you were close multiple times, but the ability to watch you actually complete it was awesome. It was definitely. It was. I would say, Dax, it was probably one of the times that like we started speaking more and more
Yeah.
off stream. I would say.
Yeah, definitely. It was
So
in-
thanks, Devo. Look who I'm fucking stuck with now. Fuck me.
Well,
And I was
now
on the
you're-
fucking
now you're really
podcast.
involved. Now you're the host. I think it's one of those things I want to get back to is more kind of having goals, challenge runs, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think God of War 3, I'm going to be starting no or low death runs of it pretty soon. Hopefully today even. So got the
You've
splits
got
all set up.
that. You've got that Sekiro one lined up as well.
I do. I want to do that as well.
Yeah, I
Oh,
spent
the-
loads of points
I've
on
got
that
actually
shit.
Demon Belt.
I do need. I will be doing that. It's just.
Oh no, yeah, I look
gotta
forward to
wait.
it.
You gotta wait for the passion to be there, and maybe a little bit closer to Elden Ring coming out as well.
Actually, Debbie, you may do
If
something with the
I-
points. Hold on, actually, let me check. I think I have a ridiculous amount of points in your stream.
I used to, but then I
Yeah,
blew
not enough
two
for
or
a
three-
shoey. Not
2 or
ridiculous
3
enough.
TTSs when they were
I have
69k.
209,000.
It's a recap.
Oh shit! I
How,
can't hear
how
myself.
much is a shoey? Is a shoey $1 million or $2 million?
10 million. It's 10 million.
10.
Keep saving, boys. Keep saving. We can do it. We can do it.
Well, yeah, it'll be Placey or Oni probably.
Where is it? Twitch told me who has the most channel points in the stream, and I was surprised. I was
Yeah,
like,
Budgie has it in our one. That's a surprise considering he's never fucking here and he's like my best friend.
Okay.
Cunt.
So I don't know though. It
Call that.
says Sick Ass Handy had the most with
Sick
I'm not
ass
kidding.
handy.
Yeah, Sick Ass Handy. Is
That's a
awesome,
fucking
dude.
great
Shreds-
name, dude.
Shreds,
much?
Shreds the guitar. I'm not joking. This is what the stream recap says. He has 666,000.
Fucking hell.
Like on the dot. On the dot. 666,000.
Holy
You probably
shit.
had to
balls.
stop watching at that point, right? You get 666, like I'm done. Like I can't watch anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Because
pretty
we were
crazy.
trying to guess that in stream the other day.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I was actually during the holiday break when it was me, Rach, and Oni, and I think me and Rach were up at like 10 a.m. our time, hadn't slept yet, and we're watching you. That was a good time. Not so
I
much,
remember
not so
that,
much
yeah.
that day. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
I think I was sleep delirious and was just abusing Rich in the chat, and he was like, "Have you been drinking?" I'm like, "No, just
Is that not normal?
being cheeky to Rich."
You don't need to drink for that. That's fine.
Got to get HZD installed soon, Collie. Give it a bit of a spin-off stream, see how it goes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I
Love to let me
bought it
know.
as well.
That's what I
So
said
good, man.
when we were talking about it the other night. I was like, I don't know if this is a game you would ever stream, but I think you would like it. I think you would like the challenge of the higher difficulties because I don't play it on the higher difficulties. I know Rach is at the moment. She just completed it on New Game Plus on like very hard, which is the second highest difficulty, and she says it's like it's a good challenge. But for me, it's like my favorite game ever. So I just like to throw it on. And kind of back what you were talking about with the whole multiplayer aspect versus single player. Like I played Warzone like pretty much all the time for the first 4 or 5 months of streaming, and I've since moved pretty much to single player all the time because I much
Yeah.
prefer being able to pause, being able to talk shit and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
I think if
I don't
I know
how-
I know you'd feel the same, Dax, as well.
Yeah, I think if you look at the multiplayer streamers that are successful, they're successful because they're absolute fucking gods at playing the game that they're doing. Like if you look at the top Apex players, like the top Apex streamers, they're ridiculously good at the game. Whereas people who are mediocre, they're at the bottom, no offense, for a reason. Whereas it's quite hard, it's quite difficult to be good at a single player game. And there's a lot more chat interaction. It depends if you want to go into a stream and communicate with people and, be part of the stream rather than just sit back and watch people play. So,
Yeah, I think speedrunning has been amazing for single player content because
definitely.
it's sort of competitive, but everyone's, able to do really well on their own level. I think people kind of recognize how much effort and time it takes to, ironically enough, beat a game in a smaller amount of time and can get involved with it. I think that speedrunning will keep growing and growing over the
I think
next
so. And it's lovely
3 years.
when you
Easily.
join a speedrunning stream, you know straight away if this is a good run or not. Like most of the time, like it's either green or red. As in if you kind of know if this person is doing well or bad. Whereas if you join them and they're playing a multiplayer game, sometimes it's kind of hit or miss whether you know what's kind of going on or not.
Yeah.
So
I think multiplayer streamers as well that are successful tend to have a bigger viewership. So chat generally looks after itself.
Yeah,
Like
that's fair.
you don't have to interact with chat as much. I still remember the days when Dr. Disrespect used to read out every dono and resub and everything, but now he's able to just concentrate on what he's doing and chat just looks after itself.
it must be crazy to
Same.
get to a level where like if you were to read out every sub or dono, you'd be a full-time streamer just reading donations.
Yeah.
Like it must be
Yeah,
insane to get
I-
to that level.
I totally like Happy Hob, Dis2. Those guys have thousands of people watching, but they still manage to read just about every single resub. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
I don't know
impressive.
how they do it. Yeah, it's awesome. You love to see it.
Yeah, I found that through watching EXP, Excess Profanity.
Cody, yeah,
When
he's awesome.
and it was just like random chance that I found. It was just like someone in your chat posted that fucking big Keanu wall, and it's like, I need that in my life. And I went over to his channel, and it's just like, this man's a fucking legend. He doesn't give a shit banning people is actually like a big commemoration to withhold within the stream, which he does fantastically. But how everyone has like their niches and everything, like they're able to find what works for them really well and tie it down to their own personality without necessarily copying or taking too much from anyone else is pretty fun.
I think he's just he's got a knack for talking to people. Like when he looks at the camera.
Yeah, he talks to you,
he's looking at
straight
you,
away.
he's like talking to you. Yeah, and I think that is a very good skill of his. Because when you join the stream, if he's in the middle of a topic or even a rant, it's like he's ranting at you, and it's very hard to not listen to someone who is doing that. So his eyes never wander. It's just like, and that's a skill. That's a skill.
But like, no matter whether you're a first-time viewer or chatter, or you've been in there since day one, you're fucking Methuselah in that channel, and he's chatting away to you. He'll like whatever you got to say. He'll chat away, or he's going to bite back, depending on what it is. And you kind of come there for that as well afterwards.
You never know what you're going to get sometimes.
Everything okay outside?
My cat was literally, because I've got a fly screen on the window, and my cat was stuck on the fly screen. Like he had both claws in the fly screen, and he was just sort of like floating. He was like, I can't get down, and then he managed to get down. I think he wants to come inside.
Maybe, yeah. That's a sign, maybe, to open a window.
That'd be right.
But that's a good point that you're saying, like, about like looking at the camera. I've actually changed my camera angle, so I used to have the camera up at the top of the screen, but I found that whenever I was playing games, all you could see was this.
The forehead.
Like, it's just like focus forehead. That's all you could see. But one person I started watching recently quite a lot, and I've talked to Collie about him, is Limmy. He's a very big Scottish streamer, but he has a camera at eye level that when he reads chat, he actually looks over like this to read chat. And it feels so much more engaging when somebody just turns away from the gameplay to, actually look at chat, rather than like, if I was playing a game here and then I went over here to look at chat, it's not the same as looking over this way. So just small little things like that can make all the difference.
It does make a big difference. Excessive has a similar setup where he basically has like a big fuck off size TV, and that's what he plays on. But the camera is below the TV, so it's eye level with him, and he'll be looking up, but then he can look down to look at the camera, and he's sort of somewhat looking down at you, but it's not like a really scuffed angle or anything like that. So it does make a big difference. That I think it's just your monitor arrangement sort of determines what your options might be there. But
what's your current monitor setup, Devin? Do you have 2 or 3?
I've got 2 here. I can't show you, but like there's 2 here, and then I've got one for the stream PC to my right, and they're all on VESA mounts, like on. Yeah, they're all mounted, so
nice.
Makes it very easy. Yeah, got portrait for the chat on the left-hand side, and all works pretty good.
Kind of same as my setup.
It's actually crazy. Like I wish I had photos of my old streaming setup. I used to have the most scuffed setup ever, like even scuffed by gamer standards. I had the case. The case was 10 years old. Didn't have either side panels. The crossbar on it was bent because I had to bend it down to push the PSU in.
My guy.
Oh, you haven't seen shit, Devo. This guy above me. Percy's motherboard was green. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Nice. Well, yeah, it had a 10-year-old CPU in it when I was streaming off of it. GTX 1060 with an i7 3770K. And I was streaming and playing on it, and it's just a massive contrast to what I have now, because now I've got 2 PCs and fucking all this bullshit, 16 computers, 8 satellites, this kind of XQC meme level shit, 20.
Oh jeez, I'd have to try.
What'd you do, Dax?
Dig up a photo.
I
bought my old PC up until like relatively recently. It was I think it was a i7
Core i7 920.
He just
It was a Core i7 920. Because it was the very same CPU that I bought about 15
But
years
it was
ago.
the one with
I saw.
was it a
Mine was
graphics
a
chip in there or something like that?
mine was a
something?
2700 i7.
Oh, I don't know then. Sorry, I'm
Mine was a first gen i7.
incorrect.
Mine was a first gen i7, and I still have I'm still running a 1050 Ti as a graphics card, and I didn't even know what my motherboard was or
Dell.
what my
Windows XP. Like the Windows XP
Yeah.
motherboard, that's it.
it probably was Dell actually, yeah.
The motherboard is
And-
Dell.
I used to have like the 900 series graphics cards, and when I got the 1050, it wouldn't fit into the case, so I had to get a steel cutters, and I had to nip two sides of where the GPU was to fit in, and I had to bend it backwards so it would actually
Oh,
slot into the
God.
computer, and it jutted out as well, so I couldn't put the side back on. So
Nice.
every once in a while, I had to like take it out and detach it and get the Hoover and put it on the blow function and just like take all the dust out of it, because it just sucked everything in. You couldn't even see. It was just black. The entire side with dust.
Jesus.
Just give it a nice jumper made of dust and just put that jumper on it. Warm it up.
Cozy. Devo, your current job, obviously, you seem to work in something similar to me. I think you do more coding than I would do on a regular basis, but do you find a lot of what you're working, like your actual work, is currently benefiting for your streaming in terms of like your knowledge of just coding in general, going back towards the stream?
Yeah, I mean, it can help with diagnosing problems, troubleshooting, definitely. I don't do that much coding. I've done like not like a little bit of JavaScript and CSS for the stream,
Yeah.
HTML, not a lot, like just basic stuff that I know from my job that I thought this might help a little bit. I still can't seem to get my alerts to fit within the rectangle that they're meant to be in, but anyway. it's a
Alerts are
problem.
fucked no matter how educated you are.
It's just Streamlabs. I'm still using Streamlabs. But it doesn't, I've had people approach me with issues before with OBS, and just being able to troubleshoot helps a lot. Like, my GPU runs at like 100%. Why is it doing that? Okay, go into OBS, go to the scene where it's 100%, and just turn everything off slowly. Oh, that one you turned off. That was causing a problem. Go into that scene,
Yeah.
And also like just scene management, coming from a programming background, trying to kind of group things together, reuse scenes within scenes, package things up that go together in the same scene, and just that sort of stuff can make managing OBS a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah, having the programming background will definitely help in terms of like just keeping things tidy.
Literally just make things easier to organize. I haven't seen many other people's OBS setups, so I don't know really what to compare with, but yeah, I like to think that it's relatively well organized.
Do you see yourself moving to OBS at all, or are you kind of happy enough with your current setup?
I use just Streamlabs for alerts, but I've been using the normal OBS.
Okay.
Streaming. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I don't use Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah, I started off with Streamlabs OBS, but luckily I changed off pretty quickly because a lot of my interaction in terms of like channel points and stuff like that to set off certain scenes and stuff like that, it only works with OBS. Obviously because they have the APIs and stuff are a lot more open than Streamlabs.
Yeah, I don't think I'll move away from Streamlabs, even though I think what they've been doing with their marketing is really bad. But Stream Elements almost does some pretty bad things as well with marketing. So it's like, which one is evil and which one is not is like not.
One is shit and one is shit with sprinkles on top.
Yeah. No, it's like I have both Stream Elements and Streamlabs because I was curious what Stream Elements was like, so I just signed up, and I always they email me at least once every 2 months, like, oh, we got a sponsorship opportunity. Do you want to play fucking
Raid Shadow
Legends?
And all they're doing is just looking at your stats. They literally pull all your stats and save them and put them into some system, and then they go, oh, this streamer here, this much viewership, all right, give them a sponsorship deal with this company. And you're like, I never signed up for this shit. What the fuck is this? And all these people are like, Streamlabs is so bad. Use Stream Elements. They're the best. It's a good citizen of the internet. And it's like, no, they're nearly as bad. So
Yeah.
Like,
Every new notification when you go into Stream Elements, you should make something for the merch store to
Oh,
sell
fuck
on your
off with your
stream.
merch store. Yeah.
No, thank you. I'd
I just
rather
want my
not.
alerts.
How about you milk me? How about that?
It's funny, Rich. There's a guy who's actually friends with excessive profanity, another Aussie streamer called Wet for Jesus, and
Weddy.
he actually did a sponsored stream with Raid Shadow Legends, right? He'd done a couple. It's just a piss take, right? It's an absolute piss take. No one takes it seriously. The viewers just get the quota done and then they get their payout. And so one day he was like, all right, yep, we're going to do a sponsored stream. But instead of actually playing the game on stream, him, Excessive Profanity, and Darius Carlin all went and got into a jacuzzi together pretty much and just sat there and talked shit while people signed up for Raid Shadow Legends accounts. He wasn't even playing the game, and he pretty much got the full payout regardless.
What
So
a winner!
as
What a
long as
man!
people go on and do
genius.
like, I think it's like a tutorial with like your code. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm pretty sure
it takes a while. I've made like 2 or 3 like raid accounts for just like someone that I like. That's
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
that's doing it.
support.
Like,
You gotta
I'll do it
support.
for you. Fine.
I wish I could find. They did this amazing video just showing how much these companies like Stream Elements or whoever solicits the sponsorship just don't give a shit about checking the actual integrity of the sponsored show and just pay it out. It's just it's a joke. The whole system.
And Devo, where do you see yourself like 5 years from now in terms of streaming? Do you want to continue kind of keeping the channel to a point where you can still obviously communicate with everyone? It's it's still, you're a big channel, don't get me wrong, but you're relatively small in terms of like the fucking masses on Twitch. Would you like to keep it at that and just maintain the level, or would you like to grow obviously as you go along?
I think if I ever went, if in 3 years I could go full time, then I would just strap a rocket on the back of it and just
See what happens.
Right? It's a small channel, but I think there's enough of a foundation there to like go to another level. It's all plateaus, right? Like you'll pop off for a while, something new game will come out or something, pop off for a bit, build that base a bit bigger, and all of the extra people on top will sort of, go off and watch other people, or a different game will come out, or that game will lose interest, but you'll keep some of it and just go to that next, just keep doing that, just keep doing that, just keep doing that. The ones that stick around are the ones you want to keep around, people who make the stream fun, familiar faces who are familiar with how the channel works. They're the ones that make it fun. And then you just keep doing that until you got to a point where you can be in the top 6 channels in someone's list of follow channels, or you can be in the top row of the directory that you're streaming in, And if you can do those two things and just do that just about every day, like 5-6 days a week for 6 hours, same content, then that's the rocket, right? If you put that on the back, you just go. There's no big secret to it. You just kind of got to find your niche and stick to it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because of the way Twitch works, you do have to stream. Every time you stream, it's got to be for like at least 4 hours. You can't build a channel streaming 3 hours every day or every other day. It just doesn't work. You do have to just do the time. So like if I didn't go full time, I'd just keep doing it the way I'm doing it now. It's just happy to just cruise along. But if I went full time, it would just be a completely different story. Yeah.
I
I'd
think
love to do it, but
one thing that
if I had kids, I wouldn't be able to do it. It wouldn't be fair. So
one thing I said loads of times on stream is like, I think it's quite important getting your face out there or get your personality on stream as much as you can. So like, just say I was speedrunning Doom loads and I never showed my face. I never like talked my fucking dumbass shit that I usually talk about. As soon as I swapped over to a different game, people are like, oh, Daxter isn't streaming Doom. Good luck. Because people only followed for Doom. But whereas if you put your face on stream and talk about yourself, get your personality out there, people hopefully follow for you as a person rather than the game you were playing. I think that's quite important as well. That's something that I feel sorry for people. Like not so what. Well, Holy Soul is obviously proven us wrong in that sense. He's never shown his face, but he's grown ridiculous amounts since we started streaming. Like
his growth in the last year even.
It's fucking. He's gone from like probably like 15 viewer average to 150 viewer average. Like he's blown up. But saying that, he really gets his personality out. Like even though he doesn't show his face, he talks so much.
Oh, you'd
Well,
listen.
he's-
You just listen to the man talk.
Yeah.
Like he just has one of those voices, and like the points he gets across really like cohesively. Like you just listen to the man. You don't even
Yeah,
have to watch him or understand the content necessarily.
it's, streaming is one of those things. It's just going to be the most wanky analogy ever. But you have 3 garden beds, right? And those could be 3 different games. If you stream or water them evenly, then they're going to go good. And if you just water one and look after it, it's going to pop off real hard. But if you ever have to go back and look at the other ones, it's going to be a lot of work. That's how I view it.
Not bad.
It's been
Not bad.
It's like I can just about stream. I'm really lucky because I just did Doom for a long time, but before then I'd done a few different things, and now I can kind of go back to the other things, and people thankfully still come in and say hello, which is great. So if you can do and say that, that's awesome. I think like those first, your first sort of couple of years, if you divest yourself up between a few different things, yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit. You'd be like, oh, instead of streaming to 50 people, I'm streaming to 15. That's going to hurt a little bit, but 2 years later, it'll pay off because you'll have built up some audience across those games, and maybe you'll even bring people across, and they'll watch you when you're a bit bigger, play other things. So
That's the goal. What time are you streaming today, Devo? What's on the cards? What's on the agenda?
got a big old day playing God of War 3 from the start. I've got the hit counter manager all set up with splits. We're going to do some it's death counter with splits.
What time are you starting? Are you starting soon or later today?
Yeah, pretty soon, I think. It's Saturday. There's nothing else to do but play video games.
Just saying, if you happen to start soon, we can pass all these lovely people over to you.
Eat a wiener, Collie.
If you'd like to do that, or are you sticking to a strict schedule on time?
I have exactly a 0 plans today.
A zero, Collie.
Zero.
I think it was Rich that sent me that clip first. It's by far my favorite on Twitch. It's so good.
Yeah. I was going to say, Devo, we're very close to the 3 hour mark here on Tins, which we usually like to keep it around 3 hours.
It's been a quick 3
yeah,
hours.
it fucking flies past.
They fly by, dude. They usually, and that's the problem is like you start polishing off a bottle. And
and you weren't drinking. You were drinking tonight. It feels like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it goes by
it's
quicker.
mental.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Jesus, stuck here with 4 drunk fucks.
I've only drank half the bottle of Jameson. I didn't drink the whole
Not
thing.
too bad. You're not too bad.
You'll have to
I just
you'll have to
nearly
another
finished my
Aussie on
bottle. Almost.
Oh yeah, we're planning on getting a few. Now that we're in Australia, like we did with Scotland, we may as well raid the country while we're here. You know.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna pillage the fucking country.
Who's next?
Dax just wants into the rad crew. That's what it is.
Can you get past the Australian border force?
He already has a crew.
I'm vaccinated already. I'm vaccinated.
Badass.
Here, no, I must say the rad crew.
I
I like to raid the rad crew. They're a bunch of very nice people, and from everyone that I know in there.
Shanky, keen fucking eye. How did you spot fucking Buffalo Trace?
He
on
could
that?
smell it. He could
fucking
smell it through his
smelled it.
fucking
Yeah.
screen.
It's usually as soon as you move the bottle, he went.
I didn't even
Buffalo
show the
Trace
front of
across
the
the
bottle,
pond.
and he fucking seen it. The Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo face.
It's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, big shout out to the rad crew, everyone. The rad crew. I think I posted a link earlier for the rad crew Discord. If anyone wants to go in and say hello, but I will post another link.
You know your bourbon.
Porky keeps that server going with his memes. That's for sure.
Oh, I daily check it for the memes.
Amazing.
Daily
Literally,
check.
like
I think one of his best ones that I've seen was during one of Cat's streams, and it took her a while to post it, but it was the one of the 5 different faces of yourself over the band members of the band Devo.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think I don't think I saw that one, and I am pretty sure that might be a blessing because that means
But yeah, guys, anyone that's in the Peach Gang that's in here that doesn't really know the Rad Crew, I highly recommend checking out the Discord, guys. If you enjoy the Peach Gang, you'll very much enjoy the Rad Crew. Very similar in terms of community, and just it's a very active Discord and a great place to be. So highly recommend checking out.
Get in your daily
Demo
VB.
DMs.
Get your daily VBs in there as well, lads.
Yeah, you thought you were gonna get away with not seeing it, huh? Yeah. Thought it was gonna happen.
no, Rocky, we bloody go.
There we go. But yeah, Devo,
Rich,
sorry.
I was just looking for that. Sorry, I was just looking for that copy pasta. I got that saved as well.
Oh, you are such a fuckhead, Porky. That's why I love you.
Crack that whip.
It's soft knob.
Yeah, the soft.
Wait, do you still have Devo Soft? Oh, you do. Okay, you do.
Yeah, I missed the beginning of Soft Knob. I think there was like 2 or 3 weeks where I was like absent and I came back and Soft Knob was around. It's just like missing the backstory on this.
Yeah, I actually kind of feel bad about that because that dude, he's not only in my channel. So I was like, oh, shouldn't have banned him. But sometimes you just gotta.
It is what it is.
You just gotta put the foot down, right? Like, come on, man.
Every time I see the Goodney one is literally like, I think I posted in Radical, it's like seeing boobs for the 150,000th time. It's like, oh my, it's that exciting every time, no matter how old.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Like my attitude towards emotes is very different to what it was, 2-3 years ago. It's like back in the day, I was like, I'm gonna come up with a good emote, and it's gonna stay with us forever. But now it's all about like,
you just got to change it up.
Change them all the time.
Got to change it up.
You're so rich. Nice beauty.
I like the way you go. Like, I'm going to come up with a good emote, and I'm going to make it myself, and I'm going to make it a part of this community. And I'm just like, I think I have a half-arsed idea. I'm going to pay someone $15 to make me 3 quality emotes that just get like subjugated back to something else.
Yeah,
something
and then
more meme-worthy.
Your community just takes your stupid screenshot of you, and then that ends up being better than the art that someone
pretty much, yeah.
It's
the way it is.
That's my profile photo. My stream froze one day when I was running Resi, and they were like, "Oh, that's a better picture than the one you have now." And it's just like, "Oh, thanks.
Your emotes are you from the fucking from one night of Tins and Gins. Your emotes are fantastic, man.
Yeah, thank you, Battery.
Beardy getting sick on it.
It's literally like the fucking the last shot.
The tunnel didn't go down exactly right. Okay,
you did. You said you got sick later.
Later, yeah.
Anyway, boys. Anyway.
Semantics.
Devil, yeah. If you wanna kick off stream, if you're planning on doing that, we're happily send everyone over. Obviously from here, but
that would be very nice.
We can talk shit for a little bit while you get set up.
If you wanna start up, we'll chat shit for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and we'll send everyone over. But Devo, overall, for myself and all these lovely lads, thank you so much for joining us. Seriously, it means a lot.
Thank you,
time, man. Thank you.
It means a lot.
Thank you, Devo.
Yeah, it's hard with the time frame and everything. So thanks for making the time for us, man. Getting up and
it's easy. I was up ready to go. This is a good time. So
awesome.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some other Aussie streamers on, pick their brains on, and find out who the biggest bogan is.
Oh man,
that's a good question.
That's something we can ask that in the future about the whole bogan thing. That's something I didn't cover today.
Yes,
I can tell you.
Yeah.
Catico is the biggest bogan. See, even Chaz,
Cat
Chaz doesn't want that glory. So
Chaz just said it as well. Cat's the biggest bogan, lol.
We're gonna get a bogan on. Hopefully, Cat will be able to explain to us what the fuck a bogan is.
Proper boganella.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe late 2022 or maybe 23. We'll might have the privilege of having you back on again.
Yeah.
We plan
on getting everyone that's came on. We plan on getting them on
almost
in
everyone.
the future.
Yeah, almost everyone.
To see what's changed in your life and stuff like that. So
almost everyone.
Almost everyone. There's some cunts that we do not want back. Like Shengus, yeah.
Some
Fuck
dude
that.
fuck that. They're trying to ask him questions all the time. He's just strumming his guitar and shit. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
cheers everyone for hanging out. You're all legends. Thanks for spending the time to hang out with the boys. And thanks again for having me.
You're very welcome, Devo. Thank you so much.
Much appreciated, brother.
Cheers, guys.
All
Take care.
See you in there.
See you later, Devo.
And then there were 4 lads. There you go. What do you think? That was a good episode. That was fun.
That was nice. Enjoyable.
Nice. Chill. Nobody got too pissed.
Didn't fanboy too much.
Nobody fanboy too much.
That would work out. You know what I mean? It worked out really well. You know,
Dax was 3 drinks deep before we went in.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Man, I control the erection. All right, I controlled it.
Were you just like, fuck it? Like, I'm just going to start drinking the normal time we start tins and then just go into it? Or
To
just
calm the
like,
nerves. To calm the nerves.
No, like I'm
God.
fairly fucking not pissed, but I'm fairly like tipsy right now. But
I feel alright. I was
You're a merry
drunk.
man. You're a merry man.
Merry
I was
man.
drunk until I ate them cheesesteaks. Right? The beans slid in some cheesesteaks while we were in there.
Oh man, yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that, Beardy.
beans
Oh,
there.
they were good. They were
Beardy,
good.
you know when
Nice
you
and
mute yourself
greasy.
and all you can see is this?
Oh, I'm going hard.
Yeah.
On
Oh, did
some
Beardy
Ben's,
himself? Because whenever he coughed, he certainly didn't. Fuck me.
I can't. I come to the mic.
Every time I was like, fucking hell,
I
I need cheese.
It was
All right,
that loud.
Beardy.
I'm sorry. I'm
We can hear
sorry.
you coughing. All right.
Listen, I'm nasally right now. I got a little something. Look, I could have been worse. I could have been blowing my
I'm
nose the whole
Polly.
time. All right.
But guys, more importantly, everyone in chat, you guys are legends for watching. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for chilling out tonight. Some of you may recognize this song as Devo Whip It. What a tune.
In
Should've
my
played it
mind,
after
this is. Wait, Devon does this?
Umbra! With the
No.
Collective chicken. What the
With
fuck?
the-
with the give the sub to Collective Chicken.
No way.
Collective
Devo does
Unit's
this
arch
song.
nemesis. What?
Umbra.
Devo does this song, yeah.
Man, this song lives in my head
There, still
rent
thinking about the
free
word
almost
Whip It.
every
laughing.
week.
Whip it good.
Do any of you remember that Simpsons episode? I
Devil
can't
Live yet?
remember
What the
which one. But
I
it's
know,
where
yeah.
like
Can't-
Smithers is
Start yelling at
there
every
in like
in the shower too.
Collective
cowboy
effort,
outfit,
Gaming.
and he's doing like the whip it. Whip it.
Collective
Licorice
effort.
whip.
Umbra. I know.
Well done, Umbra. Well
That actually
done.
might be a real channel. That
Umbra,
honestly
give these
might
to me,
be
not to
shit.
Dax. Fuck him.
Shaz, yes.
Shaz.
Yes, Shaz.
Shaz, are you bogan
You
enough
know.
to join us
You
for a bit
know.
of...
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that would be
Shaz.
class. Yeah, Shaz, it would be class to have you on for sure.
Yeah, Shaz, hit me up.
Steve, no links in chat. Steve, come on.
Yeah, Steve,
He's a
please,
VIP.
please,
What the
Steve.
fuck?
Aw.
He's scrub like you, Beardy. I don't care about your first badge. You've got no diamond or no fucking sword.
Oh,
Umbra,
shit.
stop gifting subs to collective fucking identify. Or
Collective identities.
identity.
Entities.
Umbra, stop killing or
Identities.
stop giving subs to like random collective people. There's only one collective man here and he's up there.
It's me.
That man, look, collective unit.
Hey,
He's
On
your
my
number.
screen, on my screen, he's below you.
word on the street is
No,
No,
yeah,
Sonny.
Sonny. Dev
He's
had to
going
go.
to
He
be
seen
starting
you were
this
still in
stream.
chat. He said, I'm out.
Collective frequencies.
Virginian.
Pull his
Umbra.
fuck off.
Umbra. Sonny, Devo is starting up stream, so we're going to send you over there so you can get your horn on.
For any
Alright.
minute longer.
Catacomb, we heard you were seriously bogan.
Erective unit.
Oh,
Bogan as fuck.
erective unit? Where's that?
Here she is.
Gonna put it in.
Erective unit. Yeah, Cat, what does it mean to be bogan?
Cat, we said we need to get a bogan
must
on Tins
know.
and Gins, and both Devo and Radshaz were like, Catacomb, get Catacomb on. She's bogan as fuck.
I don't
Yeah.
have a mullet.
Collective
Can I
Duck.
be-
Okay, I approve
Mad-
the donated sub to Collective Duck.
Or can I be bogan?
Thank you, Umbra. He is a good lad. Everyone else can
I
feel
will
that.
sit on a milk crate throne if need to be.
Erect unicorn. Bobby. Who the fuck is Bobby?
Bobby's a cat.
What? What are you talking
Lemmy,
about?
Lemmy's cat. Look, the little
Hell
emote.
yeah, Sonny.
Oh, is that
Lemmy's
actually
cat.
Lemmy's cat?
Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you for gifting sub to
It
Lemmy's cat.
haunts Umbra's dreams, I think.
Umbra, thank you for the gifted sub to Erect Unicorn.
Umbra stepped away from his PC one day and I DM'd him like 15 Twitter posts about Bobby. And he came out thinking that he'd been all popular, but it was just me spamming his inbox. That's Devil started on his starting soon screen, by the way.
He did indeed. Collective Dreams, thank you, Umbra. Umbra, thank you for all the gifted subs to all these random collective people. Hopefully, as
these random-
altogether,
random
they will
collectives.
become
The collective will thank you.
a collective unit.
Unit. Oh, well done.
Oh, dabs got thrown in there. Look at that.
You even turned the mic upside down for it too. Perfect.
Yeah, I know. I have to hit it from the top sometimes.
Kyle, you know if
You gotta
start a
hit it
stream
from.
team now, it's
You
gotta
gotta
be the
hit where
collectives.
that mic isn't expecting it from that angle. You know.
It's true.
All the way.
Can't stream.
All right, Shaz. Shaz, like I gotta head out. Devil started stream. Shaz,
Chaz.
we're sending you that way. Chill out.
Congrats on 3 years again, affiliate Shaz, by the way.
Yeah, congrats, Shaz. Congrats. Best boy, best man. I'm working. Oh man, he's working. Hold on. Wait, where is it? Rad. Here it is.
You know, where's the, where is it? Rad strong.
Shaz looks so fucking jacked in that
Rich
gif.
Rich is here gaming.
Rich is here again. Is he here though, Umbra? Is he?
Where's the Rich for partner?
No, no, don't use that in chat.
Rich
Don't do
partner
it.
sub?
Don't do it.
Oh wait, that's right. He can ban me now. Shit.
He has the
Strong.
power over you.
No,
No, don't do it. No.
don't do it. No.
But anyway, guys, we're gonna send you
Just
over
making that
to.
emote. Just sitting there just all day, just pumping that one arm, just to get like this emote's gotta look great.
I was pumping biceps for 30. Yeah, exactly, for 30 minutes.
You
Look,
don't
you
know
got
how
it.
many wanks I've
Rich
had.
Rich for partner. Oh, here, guys, I'm gonna end stream before Umbra spends his bank account fucking gifting to random people.
Rich.
Thank you, Umbra. 42 subs. Nice. That's a good number to end on.
Only 8 away from the 50 badge.
Only-
That would so look so good next to your name in chat.
There's a lot for 420. I'm just saying
Rich.
420 would look
Luffy
better.
3D Monkey, thank you very much for the follow.
Oh,
Thank you.
fuck. Is that one of the random gifted subs that just came through?
I'm not sure.
Oh, thanks for.
but guys,
oh no,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Cheers, everyone. Guys,
everybody for watching tonight.
Yeah,
Thank
cheers,
you very
everyone.
much.
guys, we're going to be handing
Whether
out.
you're on the bit of the bubbly, or you're on as low as the water.
Guys, we're going to be hanging out in Discord for a bit after this. So if anyone wants to come in and say hello to any of us, we'll be in there. But we're going to send you over to the man himself who is on stream.
Nah.
Yeah, we're going to send you over to Devo, guys. He is starting up his God of War 3 Titan difficulty, no or low death practice. So, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. This has been a blast, and I'm very delighted to have Devo join us tonight. And
Can
hopefully,
someone unban Umbra before we end the stream, please?
yeah, please. No, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
So hopefully, 2022,
Rich, you put
2022,
in a funny
guys.
unban request, apparently. Fuck's sake.
2022 is going to be a great day for,
Wait, did he put one
or a
in?
great year for
I can't
Tins and
see it anyway.
Gins.
Fuck.
Coming at you straight from Ireland and America and Scotland.
That's awesome. I can't see it anymore, Umbra. I'm banned from being a mod.
Maybe one day we'll put this.
Oh
we'll
yes,
put this
that
on,
is the message.
Spotify.
That is the message. Cat is #1 bogan.
Ah yes.
Thank you, Cully. There you go, guys. All right, guys, please enjoy Devo's content. I'm sure 99% of you are going to be following